All right, I'll adjust you guys just a little bit. Got a new tripod I'm trying out. Got a nice Black Friday deal. You guys hear me? Oh, soft snow all over. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I was gonna do the mic check. Kind of hard to tell with this setup if it's good. Hear me? Yes, no? Welcome, everyone. Let me know if you can hear. I'm gonna take just one thing inside real quick. It worked great with the countdown. Awesome. Hey, Zero, can you hear me? My microphone working? I'll be right back, though. Check your answer. Whew. Yeah, my phone didn't give a notification that said the audio was going to the mic. Hat. Under my handy dandy wool hat to keep the snow off my phone and battery. Gonna do some fun foraging stuff today. Got a couple of good things planned. Here, great, awesome, sweet. All right. Ooh, almost took you guys out. Adjust your angle a little bit. Oh, you can see the anvil. Sorry, I thought I'd have a little bit more time. You guys are way crooked. It was snowing a lot more intense. I was going to start at 11, but there was a scheduling conflict. So it looks good. All right, how's everyone doing today? Welcome, everyone. Yeah, we're going to get this forge started up. Get this going. Sweet. So we're going to go ahead and I'd like to give a shout out to my union I was formerly in that sends me a magazine like once a week, or a newspaper. Makes great forge starting paper. Really nice being around all the snow. Not having to worry about catching anything on fire if I drop a work piece or blow this paper everywhere. Perfect. There we go. It's lit, as the kids would say. Welcome, everyone. Doing a little foraging. I've got a little grocery list of stuff I want to make. I'm going to be starting with, I think mainly today, I think I want to forge some carving tools. Because I was going to work on my Kupsa today. It's kind of what I planned out. Welcome, Benadryl Hatman. Got something I'm working on for you today specifically. I'm going to start the rough shape of I'm going to be practicing making a dagger today on top of the woodworking tools. But I'll show you guys my wood carving project that I can't really work on today. I'll show you why. This was going to be what I had kind of scheduled for today. So when working green wood, you want to make sure that it doesn't get too dry too fast, so you can keep it in a bucket. But that's not going to work out. Adjust my forge a little bit here. Turn her around a little bit. Letting her warm up a bit. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I sure did. I hope you guys did too. Alex and I are watching a Dollar General. Oh, that's funny. Need to hopefully stay warm out there. Yeah, the forge should be helping with that. Actually might turn it a little more towards me. I kind of have it facing off in a different direction than I usually. Bring it in a little more towards me. Still have it set up for summer. Sorry if that was really hot, really loud. Oh, feel that heat, but yeah. I think today we got a temperature of 26 Fahrenheit. Just a little below freezing. A little below 0 Celsius too. All right, for all my international watchers. Cool. So, try to figure out what I want to do first. I think I'm gonna make something called a shoulder adze. Which basically I'm gonna cut this in half. I'm gonna use half of this to make a dagger. I'm gonna use half of this to make the carving tool. Go ahead and get that warmed up. Wow, that almost slid straight through my, almost straight through the forge. It was snowing a lot more when I was gonna stream. So sorry if the title's a little misleading there. Get my tongs out, get them ready. There's some spots of rust showing up. Need to be taken a little better care of. Cutting axe. Get my brush. Should be just about all I need for this first little bit. Everyone doing all right today? Cool, on the way to the doctor in Springfield, Missouri. Oh, well, drive safe out there. I don't know how much snow you got out there, but it's snowing pretty good out here. I mean, it dropped looks to be about 3 inches it snowed in the last 3 hours. We still have a little snow coming down over here, but yeah, it was nuts earlier. Yeah, man, it was. I literally went to go get some breakfast, go get some super nutritious McDonald's, and then went and stopped to get some cat food at the local store, and there was no snow, nothing. And by the time I got out of the store, man, it was coming down. I had about a quarter inch on my winter shoe. Then, of course, McDonald's messed up my order. It was all my knuckle hair again. McDonald's messed up my order, so I went back. And at the time I went in, discovered that my stuff was missing, and came back out, I had about 1.5 inches of snow on my windshield. It's definitely coming down. No snow in Vegas. Yeah, I bet not. I bet it's a nice, what's temperature you got out there? I bet it's like above, I'm gonna guess it's above 60. We're gonna get ready to cut this in half. I'm gonna grab my hammer first. So this first tool I'm gonna make, it's gonna be pretty quick, pretty simple. As much as I complain about the snow, I do enjoy it. Yeah, it's beautiful. I really wish I was camping out in this, because there's no more time when the forest is more serene than when there's a bunch of fresh snow like this, big, fluffy, really nice snow, because it just absorbs all the sound. Well, so much for those. But yeah, we're gonna definitely be earning our body heat out here today. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this in half. We're gonna stay right about there. I'm gonna go ahead and flip her over. Wow, that lost heat really fast. Roll her over and mark her on both sides so I know where to cut it. About 60, yeah. Oh, frick, I've been camping all seasons, but winter, I don't think I'm cut out for it. Late fall camping involves a lot of wool and foil blankets. Yeah, you got to have the right gear set up for it, or a hot tent. Hot tents are really where it's at. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's perfect. Beautiful. It's lined up on a hardy tool. Get her most of the way cut. This is a pretty nice piece of 1095 steel. Pretty tough steel. I might switch the axe. I really like this this hardy tool, but I just feel like my axe cuts through so much faster. Sorry, 53 in Vegas. It's sunny. Sounds nice. One really nice thing about winter camping is all the ticks, all the mosquitoes are right back in hell where they belong. Love it. It's like one of the biggest things that's really nice about it. We're gonna try the axe out. I should be able to get through on this heat with just the axe. Now that I've got that groove started. Oh, missed strike. I should be wearing my safety glasses. I'll put it on after I'm done with this heat. The nice thing about it, I can just cool that off right there. So, we're going to get this back in there. Should be able to, actually it looks pretty good now. I should be able to just bend it over, break it off. Maybe. Here we go, 2 pieces. Set one on the inside. Well, no, we'll work on them at the same time. Side by side. Gotta be honest, this is the first time I really forged in the snow. It's kind of nice because my tools get hot. Just tap them in the snow. I don't have to worry about keeping water out here. Really nice. Oh yeah, last year I had to toss my shoes and socks in the woods while we were hiking. I actually kicked a tick nest thousands on me. That is the worst. I've been covered in seed ticks about, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. And it's terrible. It's one of the worst things. Oh yeah, my glasses. First, everyone, I would be willing to bet. I mean, I probably should go get checked for Lyme disease. But, I'll do that later. 13 people watching. All right. So we're going to start with this ads. Should be pretty easy. All I'm going to do is spread out the material in one direction. Grab my fuller hammer. Round hammer. Go with this one just because it'll be a little. This one's already got a big cut in it. Hear that pop? That was because a little bit of water from the snow made a little steam jacket and it popped. All I'm really trying to do, I mean, this will literally take me a couple minutes to make. All I'm really trying to do is spread this out a bit. Fan this out. You'll see blacksmith hammers that have this like wedge in. And what that's used for is when the metal's soft, you can widen out the metal. You see how it's wider at the tip than it is at the bottom? So we're almost done with that. I'll show you guys doing that. But now we're going to work on this. We're going to work on this this dagger style knife. Maybe. I just want to thin this out a little bit, just so I can get my knife making tongs on there. It loses heat so fast, guys. It's crazy. Crazy how much heat this anvil will suck out of it. I would like to do some blacksmithing. Do it. I mean, honestly, it's as easy as dig a hole in your yard, get a hairdryer, piece of steel pipe, rig it up so the steel pipe blows air underneath where you'll put your car charcoal, so drill some holes in it, put the end cap on it. You don't even have to do that necessarily. You can just hammer out the end, flatten it out so it kind of fans out, and just have it blow directly on the charcoal. Get a cheap pair of tongs off Amazon, and start whitening this out some more. But yeah, maybe I'll make a video about how to start blacksmithing for cheap or for free. Maybe I'll do like a $0, $100, or like $50, and I mean, I can't really afford to do much more than that. I mean, honestly, but your best bet, you need an anvil on a rock. Use a rock as an anvil. I really suggest going to like Facebook Marketplace is really nice. Auctions are really nice. You can pick up tools pretty cheap at those. But yeah, blacksmithing's fun. It's a lot easier than people think to get into. All right, let's try to round this guy out now. What we're doing is we're making a thin point. Later on, this will be the using the wrong tongs for this. Later on, this will be the thin tang that goes under the blade or under the handle. So I just want to make sure it fits. Make sure it fits in here. I can get in there all right. Oh, it's got a bit of a curve on it, so that might be part of the problem. Definitely not used to forging out in this kind of cold. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but I just notice how much faster the steel is losing heat. And that'll change as time goes on, because my anvil will slowly heat up. It's sucking out all the heat from these things I'm working on. So I got that fanned out to where I want it. I think I'm going to try to put a small curve on it, and to do that, I'm just going to bring it over the nose and hammer it over the nose. Railway track works great, isn't it? Well, absolutely, 100%. What is he doing in the snow except to get cold? Actually, I'm pretty warm right now. Made sure to wear nice layers. I got a nice sweater on, nice hat on. I'm in front of a 2,000 degree forge, so we're doing good. Probably actually. Yeah. All right, I don't know if you can see the steam coming off my hands, but I'm running pretty warm. I've never been much bothered by the cold, if I'm being honest. A couple more good bits, so I can get it in the right kind of tongue, so I don't have it slipping around and flipping around like that. I need to make a tool stand. No, that'll have to work. So we're going to start working on the other end. Pull that off. See how much heat that picks up. Really nice to be able to show you guys that. Everyone doing all right today? Everyone have a good Thanksgiving? So we're gonna round this over. The nose. Oh, you guys can't really see what I'm working on. Dang. I've just got the horn of my anvil, which is that pointy bit you see on the fronts of anvils. Just gave it ever so slightly a little curve there. What I'm gonna do, give it a little bit more of a curve, mess it up completely. That's really cool. There we go. There's the wrong hammer. Working it a little bit colder than I would like to, but that's okay. I just want this very gentle curve in there. So this is basically done. All I'm going to do is put 2 holes here, and we're going to get that up in non-magnetic temperature. So the way that's going to sit for a little notebook, right? The reading notebook. So I carved that piece. Looks like this. You know, it's kind of fanned out. Just going to do a quick sketch. I'm going to put 2 holes and then attach it to the elbow of a tree. So that, imagine this is a tree branch. I'm just going to attach it to that so I can use it as an adze. It's not going to have the same proportions, but that's kind of the general idea of what I'm going to use that for. You can look up shoulder adze. A-D-Z-E is how you spell adze. Get a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do. Set that out on my magnet, non-magnetic. We're going to set that out, let that cool off. Not long, buddy, and then we can start working on this dagger. I've never tried a dagger before. Very excited, guys. I made one. I wouldn't say it counts because it's made of rebar, so it's going to be like a hard, actual real knife. That I can use for anything. That's what we get the shape right. I'm just going to go ahead, start bringing that in. Hammer it flat every couple of seconds. Over. Totally misstrike my anvil. Alright, what we're going to do is now I'm going to put this piece back in there. Make it to where we can grab that side. Because I want that to be my tang. I could draw that out later, but I don't want to draw it out too much now because we need to widen these tongs a bit. These are just some cheapo Amazon ones. I also need to make a bunch of tongs. So we're going to widen that out, or we're going to thin that out later. This is going to come to a point. I think we're going to get working on our next piece. I'm going to make a couple of little carving knives. I like to use these springs to make little carving knives. I find they work really well. Okay. Looks like I got some chat to catch up on. Work with surgical steel at all. I've got this piece I've had to hold on to for a while. I'd like to get turned into a ring or something like that in the future. So surgical steel is essentially just stainless steel. I've worked with a little bit. I could probably take a look at it. We'll talk about that later on. Hi, how are you? I'm doing good. Bleeding, healing, hearts cheering. Wow, that's a heck of a name. I like that. Then blacksmith in Ontario, 4 horses. Very cool. Hello, and Lustig. You enjoy the cold? I do. I actually do. I turned my living room into a garage. Screw that. I have a garage. It's just not film worthy right now. It's been mostly storage for the last several years. So we're gonna get this piece in there this spring. We're gonna burn the paint off. And we're gonna get working on this dagger again. All that paint gets all burned off. While I think about how I'm going to get that piece to start moving right. Get that spring shaped out. We're gonna come in, kind of a front angle, flip it over. Ooh, that paint stinks. Well, let's all drop forge. I think I'm gonna heat these. You can kind of see this little space where they're supposed to go. I think I'm gonna heat these real quick, spread them out just a little, just to make my work a little easier. So I think we're gonna do, I'll go ahead and cool off up here. Make sure it's all cool up here. I'm just gonna keep the heat right there. Move our other work pieces up. Just gonna occasionally drop snow on there to cool it off. But yeah, I really do like the cold. I used to work at a frozen food storage facility, a refrigerated warehouse. And it was a quarter of a million square feet and built into a cave. And it was the warmest area in there was 40, I think it was 40 degrees or 50 degrees for the produce. But the main part where I worked, biggest part was 0 degrees. And then I loved to go in the ice cream room. The ice cream room was 40 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. That would be something much later. Barrett has a vet appointment coming up next week, so funds are going to be tight. Yeah, gotta love emergency pet. Here's the call. Alright, we got these tongs hot. Gonna take them to the nose. Open them up just a little bit. Just to make this a little easier on myself. Been meaning to do this for a while. Make sure they're pretty well even. That looks pretty good to me. We're gonna cool it off in some snow. Sizzle, sizzle. Just gonna let them sit there for a second. Think about what they've done. Right there looks good. All right, that steel's getting way too hot, so we're gonna pull that out now. Got this nice and hot. We're just gonna open her up, straighten her out as much as we can. Try not to catch my little, I've singed my mic cover. That's funny. All right, I'm already losing heat on there. So we're gonna go to our other project. One really good way to keep your forge successful is to always be working on something. While one seems to be working on another thing. Oh yeah, guys, that works so much better. Beautiful. Smack. Yes, less yak yak, more whack whack. Got a couple videos I got planned coming out. I wanted to get in this cold. It's one of my favorite times to forge. Not this cold necessarily. But I don't know, it's nice. It's nice to get out cold. Changes a lot about how it works. Nice little things. Plus, I thought it might make for some good YouTube. I'm going to start hammering that a little bit. Definitely not using the right pair of tongs for this. That's what I was holding. I'm going to hold it out. Got that muzzle straight. We're going to give it one more heat. I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. I definitely don't need all that steel. Oh, 3K is on a rescue. Crazy on a rescue. He's comforting. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Go ahead and give us a couple good smacks on this hot part. Leave just a little bit. I like the way this steel moves. We're just going to go ahead and pop there off. Pop it off there. Then we're going to work with this little itty bitty piece. That's going to be, I think, 2 knives. Little, Oh, I was going to shout out. So, the winner of my 500 subscriber giveaway, Chef DL Turner, he made a Facebook page for like carving and sharing carving on Facebook. It's called, I think it's Wood Carvers R Us. I'm really bad with remembering names of things. I'm going to post that on my channel, on my updates. So if you guys could check that out and subscribe and join that, that'd be really cool because it's, someone in our community, or the channel's community, really. Who's, doing something, sharing something. He said he was inspired by my channel to do that, which is amazing. It's really cool to me. We're bringing this to a pinch point, kind of getting that dagger shape worked in. I didn't show you the shape last time, but it's all about moving incrementally. But I want to pinch in the steel, but you got to make sure you flatten it as you go. Work it evenly on both sides, or else you'll get what's called a fish mouth, which is where it kind of will close up, but like that. We're starting to get that dagger shape. Basically, we're going to get that dagger shape put in, and we're going to thin out the handle. Let's see. I don't know if this is going to be tight enough for this, but we're going to try it out. Oh, yeah. Just going to round everything out. Bang out a couple knives out of that. Whoops. Over here. I really need to make a tool rack. Straighten out that other end, see what I want to use. See how it's going to go. Catch up on chat. How long till 1K? Got to get you there, brother. I am really close. I think I was like 9,000 or 976 when I started this. I may already be there now. But I don't know. I can't really check while I'm streaming. Why the green screen? There's no green screen here, bud. That's all real trees. I don't think I would want to be running a propane forge in my house, because that would be a really good way to get carbon monoxide poisoning. It'd be definitely warmer if it was green screen. All right, go ahead and grab this dagger out of here. Got it up to a good heat. We're going to go ahead and start moving some steel some more. Bringing that point in. couple whacks. At an angle. Making sure to move the workpiece, flatten it out as you go. We're just working on the tip mainly. Trying to get that tip in. I can always grind it in a little bit finer later. But we got that tip mostly in. Now we're going to start thinning out the whole profile of the dagger. Go ahead and pull this other piece out. I'm going to grab these wolf jaw tongs. Get a good hold on that. We're going to go ahead and flatten her out. Sorry, I'm not a little more engaged with chat. Having two pieces in the forge at once makes where I get pretty involved in what I'm doing. That's what he said. I must have missed a joke. Darn, I love jokes. I'm at 984. Heck yeah. Hello from Wales, UK. Hello from the United States of America. Okay, so now we're getting to a point. I might pull one of these work pieces out because they're both heating up really quick to thin them out. I'm going to actually pull this spring out. We're going to set that aside for a minute. This thinner you forge it, the faster it heats up. Wax. Ultimately, I'm not going to want this tip this thin. Definitely going to have to switch to a lighter hammer here in a minute. But I'm going to try to spread the steel out. Get a little bit extra as cold chunks can form on the tip. So I got that pretty much too long, actually, so I'll probably come in and cut that a little bit. But I'm going to flip it over, switch to working on the tang, and we're going to start thermocycling that adze I forged earlier. Boy, what a mess. That other side. Get this adze back in the fire. All right, catch up with chat. Best wishes from London. Very cool. Nothing like a hot. Yeah. All right. But yeah, everyone check out Chef DL Turner's carving page on Facebook. You should be able to just search for it. I'll post a link to it. Probably, I'm gonna give him a shout out. I'm gonna do a little bit of a shout out video for him because he's a really cool guy. I was having trouble getting a hold of him. He actually found my Facebook page that I made for the channel. Really good. I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to get in contact. And he just sent me a really, really nice, heartwarming email. Really made my day. Which, if I'm being honest, work's been a little rough lately. But yeah, he really brightened up my mood the day before yesterday. It's really cool to hear, people talk about enjoying my channel, and he pretty much told me he was inspired to start carving and start looking into blacksmithing and saving up for that. Make me a weapon, blacksmith. I've got the weapons if you've got the coin. Can you grill some steaks there too? I literally was just thinking about that earlier. I watched a guy put a steak in the forge and it cooked it like perfect medium rare, had a really nice crust on the outside. Not gonna lie, I've thought about laying down just a piece of scrap steel at the bottom, something somewhat food safe. But just searing it really quick, doing that because I like mine pretty rare. So I thought about it. I probably could. Sorry to any vegetarians in the chat. We're gonna pull that adze out. That adze though. Better non-magnetic again, looks like. Yep. Let it cool off to gray color pretty much. And I've got over. Really happy to be doing some forging. I got a really good check. It's paycheck. So I was able to splurge on refilling my propane tank. We're just forging in the tangs. It's going to be a hidden tang style dagger, which the tang, for those of you who don't know, is the bit of metal that's under the handle. I'll show you an example of a full tang, kind of explain a little better once it goes back and forth. But we're just working it down. You'll cut a hole through the wood. I'm going to definitely refine this profile a lot more. I usually work on very specific knives. I usually do Puko style knives. That's what I make a lot of, either that or full tang. Doing some rough forging, trying to get the technique down for drawing out the tip the way I want it. Nothing better than a thick ribeye, yeah. I'm making a couple knives. Hello from Russia, L-Super. Very cool. Am I single? No, I'm not. I'm happily taken. Got a lovely wife and 2 kids. I've got that question a lot on my live streams. It's been really surprising. I'm going to be honest. I didn't expect that. But thank you. Appreciate you asking. My lovely wife graciously agrees to watch the children while I'm doing this. I usually do outdoor content, but I haven't been doing that lately just to stay close to home. Yeah, nothing better than thick ribeye, for sure. Got to splurge on a tomahawk so you can just hold it by the bone. Oh, yeah. No, I've never had a tomahawk steak, actually. But I for sure would try it. I'm a big fan of a Delmonico steak, which is a transition, I believe, from the ribeye into another cut. I can't remember the other cut, but it's not a super well-known steak. I've just seen them start, being made more recently. Seen them in stores a little bit more. So we got that pretty much there. Now this isn't going to be a super hard use dagger style knife. No, actually, Benadryl Hat Poster, are you still in chat? What am I making? Yeah, I'm making a couple knives. I don't know if my chat updated. Oh, it sure didn't. All talk steak has built up an appetite. Either I'm not bougie enough for that, lol. Plain Walmart steak, absolutely. I'm actually making venison jerky in the smokehouse as we speak. Teriyaki sesame marinade, 150 for 6 hours. Hickory and applewood. Love that. Monaco, yes. Yes, sir. Benadryl hat, man. Okay, cool. So, what kind of length are we wanting? Because I'm making this Benadryl hat, man. So, are we like thinking like shorter, longer? We can do like short and stout. We can do long and thin. Oh yeah, the Delmonico steak's great. If you haven't had it, try it. I really love doing a dry brine on my steaks, which is where you just put salt on it the night before you cook it, and you leave it in I have a mini fridge in my garage I usually use, on a something that allows oxygen to get at it in every angle, so it dries it out just on the outside with the salt. The salt penetrates, soaks into the meat, seasons it, and it gives you an incredible crust. Somewhere is on fire. I smell burn. Actually getting a little warm, guys. I think I'm gonna have to roll up my sleeves. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave that tang right about there. Long and thin, so cool. So yeah, I'll draw this out. I don't think you want like a full 12-inch dagger style, but let's see what we can do. I think like I don't know, maybe like 6 inches or something. Tips get a little too hot too fast. Lift up my flaps too. Oh, my buttons, my snaps are broken. Shoot. You get some. Oh, are you asking where I'm at? Hold on. I must have missed some chats. Hold on, everyone. Yeah, these baby hands so short is perfect. Cool. I'm guessing Wisconsin. Are you asking where I'm at? So I'm definitely not up north. I'm in the Midwest. Ruh-roh, gotta get that out of the phone. Now we're going to start finding it down. I probably will thin this out a bit. The name of the game is just little incremental reshapes, especially with a blade you're not really familiar with making. So little baby hands. I need to make my wife try out knives sometimes. For people who have smaller hands. Ooh, I'm liking that shape though. I'm liking the way that tapers. I'm gonna make it a little bit, I'm gonna make it shorter. I'm gonna draw it out, thin out the blade a little bit. But I wear 2XL gloves, but I'm really liking that shape. This will get straightened out. It's just a little bit easier to grab when it's crooked. But this is just an experiment, so I may throw this one up on Etsy if not really I'll take picky whatever. I'll take whatever comes out. Okay, cool. Well, this is just this is an experimental piece, just for me to get the technique down. I've got a special piece of steel for you. Been prepped up. What's the coolest thing I made? Oh, Michael Myers. Coolest thing I made. The coolest thing I made. I don't know. I forged a Warhammer the other day. That was pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm really in love with this knife because I do leather work too. I did leather work on this. It all got burnt up though. Put some runes on it. But I am in love with this knife. It's got brass liners. It's got desert ironwood handles. It's the exact blade shape that I wanted. It was an experimental knife. I see now. I think I'm mixing up coolest for favorite, I guess. I don't know what's the difference. I don't really. I really love that one. That one's pretty cool because it was something I wanted. I've been carrying it for years and years and years. Straighten that out a little bit. Come in, just thinner out a little bit. Definitely gonna shorten this because it's gonna draw out pretty long. Yeah, it's definitely a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. You know, I should have thought about how long the piece of steel I started with was. So we've got this ad spooled off. We're going to go ahead and throw her back in. One more thermal cycle. I suppose I could probably start getting my oil ready. Requires me throwing this big chunk of metal in, getting that really hot. Take a lot to heat up my oil this time because it's pretty cold out. My oil lives outside. It is frozen? What? Oh no, there's just like a weird thin layer. I was like, oh, there's no way that oil's frozen. Let's see. I do not speak Russian. No polski de ruski. Oh, I love that anchor. Anchor? Need my ammo? Hola! Dang, that's fancy. Which is fancy? Oh, my pocket knife, yeah. My main carry knife. It's gonna drill hat posting. That special one I'm gonna make for you. This is my special one. If I'm being honest. No one else gets to know what that means. All right, non-magnetic. We're gonna get her hot, or let her get cool again. But yeah, I use mine for everything. I use it for a lot of outdoor stuff. I've used it for food prep. I've used it for cutting wild edibles and stuff down. I think I'm actually going to cut this in half right here and make a mini dagger. And then draw this out because I've got way too much steel there. So I'll make like a little tiny dagger too. Yeah, I really like it. It was just an experimental piece, which is why I think I like it. But it started off as going to be a normal knife. And I did all my special stuff to it. Secret mystic forge techniques. It's been a really great companion. I carried it pretty much every day. We're in the UK. And we can see your shirt, yeah. Yeah, this was I couldn't find any of my hoodies. I was gonna wear a black hoodie because I really like this shirt. It's got cool like cyberpunk stuff on it. Figure, hey, if I freeze, it'll be easier to find me. And I'm just in my front yard, so. But yeah, I really love this. This was actually made by a YouTuber. Her name is Naterix. She does really cool animations. I saw it. I just thought this was super cool. I really love like cyberpunk stuff, which is funny because it's like I'm very outdoorsy, but I also really like the futury stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this in half. I should let that get more heat. Where I want to cut that. Yeah, maybe I'll make like two little knives. Because Then a drill hat posting, I'm assuming you would want like an 8-inch dagger. It's looking to be, it'll be about that when it's done getting drawn out. The duality, yes. I very much have a duality. I think that's important. Someone once accused me of being fake because I kind of did both, future boy caveman guy, which is silly because it's like, I don't know, I like to think that I'm a pretty complex person. Man, this feels so wrong. It's like this would be by itself a pretty nice knife. I hate this. Guys, I really hate this. It's already too late. I gotta commit. Just about through. Vintage drill hat posting. I'd come by and let you see it in person, so you can kind of see what you like from the size. Because I really want to give you something that you really love. This kind of thing. I don't really take a whole lot of custom commissions for anyone who's thinking of asking. I will, but it's mostly for people who are local. But I will be throwing knives up on my Etsy shop. Oh yeah, barely cut through the other side. Can I do a backflip? Maybe dumb question, but it's a cold weather effect of metal. Yes and no. So yes, because it sucks the heat out of the piece I'm working on a lot faster, but it doesn't really. It's not practically affecting it, and except for when I have to reheat it a whole bunch because I'm fighting with the cold. Because it does make it to where I have to heat the piece a couple more times, and every time you put it in the fire, you lose a little bit of carbon. And you lose a little bit of the material. All right, we're going to go ahead and start warming our oil. You can drop that in, let that warm for a bit. Gonna get smoky. Can I do a backflip? Yeah, actually. Are you guys ready? All right, count me down. 1. Whoop. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do a backflip. I think I'd cause an earthquake if I did. Ooh, self-depreciation humor. I'm gonna snap this tip off. Just the tip. Just about there. We're gonna touch it to a little snow. Give it a little bit of a hand. And we're gonna make a little knife from that, and we're gonna forge that back out. Set that aside for now. I just want to focus on this. Welcome everyone. Making some knives, doing some other things. In the UK, can I do a backflip? No. Maybe no question. It's cold. Yep. Okay. Let's see. I think maybe there's snow or moisture on the mic. Sounds a little robotic a little bit. Do I still sound bad? I did burn my fluff a little bit. Blister? Nope. What metal am I using? I'm using 1095 steel. Broke the tip. Hey, brother. I can hear okay. Okay, cool. I wonder if it's your signal or something, Colton. Man, I'm going to be honest. I kind of prefer foraging out in this cold than I do foraging in the summer. Fold that a bit too much in, but we're going to do the same technique as earlier. We're going to... There we go. Just bring in those corners. Flatten it every once in a while. Put it back in, get some more heat on it. Here, okay, cool. Let's see. Cut up, yes. Yeah, yeah. My secret sauce knives, partially how I make them special, I'll use an organic material. Been a drill hat posting. It's kind of what's going to happen here. But you can make any knife special the way I do. One of the processes is I take an organic material, could be paper, usually sodium bicarbonate, like technically like chalk. But you can use any organic material as long as it's got carbon in it, which is all of it. You can use shavings of wood. You can use, as long as it's turned, I'm going to essentially turn it into a charcoal. You can even use hair, technically. You surround the knife with that, and then you surround it with clay, and you get it up to a certain temperature for a certain amount of time, and that puts a little bit more carbon in the just the outside layer. So, like, say if I was going to use hair or something, my carbon for my head would be in that blade. I mean, that would take, that'd be an interesting way to do that, but I've heard of people taking like hairs from animals that are, special to them, pets and stuff, or trees that are special to them, and doing that. Oh man, I kind of just messed that tip up pretty good. We're gonna take her back to flat. But yeah, starting to get that shape back in there. Just to make a tiny dagger, I'm going to still draw this out a little bit more. I almost made a big old mistake. It's kind of stuck in these tongs. I almost used my hand to knock it out. It may be not glowing anymore. Man, it's still real hot. What am I making? I'm making some knives. How much hair would you use? Completely wrap it or just do a few strands? You can use a few strands, and that'll, like, if you're trying to get like the essence of the thing that you're putting in there. I think a few strands would be enough for that to be like maybe somewhere around 10. I think that would be enough for like the sentimentality of it. If you know what I mean. Like, but if you really want to pump a lot of carbon in it to something, especially if you're using a steel that's not hardenable or not high carbon, or like a iron or something, if you're wanting to make that more like a steel, you would need quite a bit. Hair wouldn't be the most efficient for that. Gonna put our sacrificial piece of steel back in the forge. It's gonna be blowing fire everywhere, just so everyone knows. But you guys can't really see the forge, but a little bit would work. If you're just trying to get the essence of the thing in there. But you'd need a lot of hair to make a big difference in the actual chemical composition. If you're just doing it like you had a dog or something you really cared about and wanted to kind of carry him with you that way, that's a little bit of hair. I think we'll get that carbon in there and help it infuse in there. I think that'd be kind of a special thing. But yeah, definitely got that tip much more drawn out. I'm gonna probably not work it too much with this hammer, but it's got this weird bulge in this side. Another nice thing about this bright shirt, I can kind of use its background. But I'm gonna draw out the middle a little bit more now. Make sure that tip's not directly to get blown off. Let's see. But yeah, you'd use something like that. You can wrap it in paper, wrap it around a bunch of times with a couple layers of paper. That way it gets enough carbon to go in there. Really the best thing is sodium bicarbonate. I picked up this, only I can show drinking and talk about drinking and stuff on here. But I found some Fireball blazing apple at the gas station. Picking up a lighter to do this live stream, picking up propane. This one is always watching anti-theft. That way, cameraman Joey, if you're watching, which I doubt because you're probably working, can't steal my lighter again. Because I don't smoke, so I don't really, besides like my survival knives and stuff, or survival supplies, I don't really have lighters or anything other than foraging and survival, so. Draw around now. Thought that was a crack in it. I was going to be real upset. So we're getting there a little bit more. Man, lost heat fast. You don't want to work, especially 1095. You don't want to work it too cold. Handle's warming up for sure, though. That's really nice. All right. Let's see, we got some chats to catch up on. Learned a fun thing. I'll remember at 2 a.m. now. Keep up the good work, bud. Love from the UK. Appreciate it. I do a lot when I'm doing my fiber arts. I've made a few crochet items for people that incorporate their pet's fur, spinning the yarn. That's really cool. Really need to chill. Aria out. Chill. Oh, God, because it's cold. I get it. I'm actually hot. I'm really hot right now. I take off the hat, but my hair is freaking mess right now. Once it's on the internet, it's there forever. And if anything ever happened to me, they'll be like, local homeless man who also has a YouTube channel, not homeless, but just a joke because very unkempt. Definitely getting there. I'm going to thin it out a little bit more at the base, but I like the way it tapers. I think I'm going to flip her around so I can work on this area, draw that out. I need to work on these shoulders a bit, which the shoulders are this. I need to even that up right here. Bring this side down a little bit more. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because I'll pretty much, sorry, just make sure I'm not going to knock my forge over. Need to make sure that I can file it later, so. I pump oil in the winter. I'm cold, especially when there's snow. Looking cool, thank you. Is that kind of the profile that you vibe with? Kind of that short but tapered, really nice, beautiful, elegant taper on there. So I didn't imagine you wanted something like that long or something. Imagine you want something a little more manageable that you can everyday carry if you want. It's completely legal to carry here, so that's why I really like Missouri, because our knife laws are really nice. Yeah, but if you can own it, you can carry it. It doesn't even have to be an open carry. Yet, our knife grams here are not really a thing. Mailman's here. Kind of snuck up on me. Wow, lost heat on that really quick. Yeah, I dig it. Sweet. Let's get you to 1,000 subs in this video. Everyone subscribe. So I don't know how you're not cold. Well, I'm in front of this forge, and I've got a sweater, I've got a waffle shirt on, and underneath there I got a thermal / wicking shirt, and I got jammy pants under my pants. And then this hat does most of the work, but being in front of this forge also does a lot of work. And moving around a lot. I'm earning my body heat. Hello, brother. How are you? I'm doing all right. How about you? You believe in Bigfoot? I believe in the possibility of Bigfoot. I mean, I've never met him or anything. Some people say I look like him. I really, when I was growing up, actually, you know what? Not when I was growing up. I like cryptids. Cryptids are really cool. We've got a cryptid right here right now. Benadryl hat posting. That's Hatman. But I'm really liking this profile, guys. Grew up loving cryptids, and then they got really popular, and now there's even more cryptid stuff out there. I don't know if I can talk about that, but I have an account on another social media platform where basically all I do is go around to the comment sections and try to get people to go in the woods with the implication that I'm going to eat them. So I'm basically like pretending to be a skinwalker or wendigo or something. My profile picture on there is like a dude with a let's oil some more. I need it to about 350 degrees. My profile picture on there is a businessman with it's an image I made. It's a businessman with a another dude's face like stapled over. Might be a little morbid for YouTube. Yeah, I rode up the street earlier, I grabbed something, so I went down on my bike and I froze my dang forehead. Gosh. Appreciate your work, especially with cold weather. You know what? Not rain nor snow is going to keep me from foraging when I have time and I don't have to watch the kids. And my wife says it's okay. But yeah, honestly, the cold never bothered me anyway. Sorry for that. I feel bad about that one. That one's gross. I don't like this. Ooh. I'm really liking this Benadryl. I'm leaving it chunky on the edges because that way I can grind it out later. Ooh, I really like that. Is that just about what you're looking for? I got to even out the shoulders still. Thin out that tip a bit, but I can do all that on a grinder. But really, I think that's where I kind of was going for. Congrats, 1,000 subscribers. Woo! Guys, what should I do for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway? All right, we're going to get one more heat. I'm going to work out some of the kinks. It still likes feet, so we're going to hammer that out. Work out some of the kinks. Guys, I'm so excited about that. I just did my 500 subscriber giveaway like 3 days ago. Do a backflip. Woo! No, just kidding. We're going to start working on this mini dagger now, too. I'll show you guys something crazy. I'll show you when it's done. But yeah, oh man, it's awesome. Thanks to everyone who subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Really means the world to me. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna give away. I think I might do a knife, but there's legal issues with that, with countries that can't have knives. I'm gonna see about being able to ship out of the country. This one was America only. Actually, the guy who won, Chef D.L. Turner, shout out to you if you're still in chat. He lives in Missouri as well. So, because that's where I'm at. So it's not going to be a whole lot of shipping. It's like I don't have a whole lot of money. I'm not making money on YouTube yet. Sorry, we got a snow plow. Yeah, I'm really liking that. Just gonna get this tip in a little bit more. Realize I've been doing almost all the forging on this with just this one hammer. Usually I would switch to smaller hammers, but I don't know, it's just been working out. We're just straightening out those sides. Oh, yeah, that's like a really, it's a really nice like EDC dagger style size. I think that'll work with that handle piece, something about this size. So we're gonna get it up to critical temperature, and we're gonna let it cool down. We're gonna start thermocycling that one. But yeah, for the special sauce knives, I do some different stuff than normal blacksmiths. I use a lot of old world superstitions. When I do my special sauce knives, we'll call them. You know, I'll use a charcoal forge because that adds a little something. I'll make the charcoal myself, especially if I've got a special type of tree or something. Like I really like to kind of look into the lore of blacksmithing. Like if I was gonna do like a Viking Age knife that I had the special sauce, I would use an ash tree because that's the same type of wood as the world tree in Norse mythology. This one burning my knuckles. That flame shoot out of me. No more knuckle hair. Burn the rest of it off. But oh yeah, special sauce knives. It's just like I like to take as much meaningful stuff as possible and incorporate it in. Why so yellow? It's in case I freeze, so they can find me out in the wilderness. No, I'm just kidding. I'm in my front yard. I couldn't find my normal hoodies, and I like this shirt. It's really cool. There's really cool stuff on the back, and maybe it's eye-catching. Maybe people like it. I don't know. Up to temperature. We're going to go ahead and set her down. We're going to pull out this other little tip piece that I was forging to make a little mini dagger. I could transition. It doesn't have to be a dagger. It could be a little carving knife, which I plan on making carving knives, so you know, I think we're going to make it a carving knife. Which actually I'm going to shorten it up a bit then. And now I got to figure out what I'm going to do for my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Dang. I didn't think my channel was going to grow this fast. Oh, see guys. I was hammering it a bit too cold. This is not important, but this piece up here, you can see see that crack forming in there? That's partially from where I cut it and it folded over for me forging it in, but I worked it way too cold, so it started cracking, getting a cold shot. Let's see. Do I hunt? I would if I could. Let her open. I know Colton, but I don't want to get anyone in trouble in other countries. Dang, I thought I was really going to do a backflip. Think again. Am I making a spear? I'm making a dagger. When we go to exchange the eggs for a bit fewer than a dozen, girlies don't like to lay out when it's cold. But I do have an indoor girl who lays for me every day, but she's a quail. Very cool. Where is this place? Is it home or workplace? It's both. This is the yard of my house. So I just kind of come out and do YouTube and forge and all that as a hobby. So it's a little bit of both, really. I would like for YouTube to become a career. I don't know how viable that is. I keep saying that, but my channel growth is pretty good. So once I get monetized, we'll see how it goes. And maybe, just maybe, if it stays stable for like about a year or so, I'll be out here, you know, making videos every day. That'd be really cool. Because I definitely would prefer to do something I'm passionate about instead of just driving, you know, a forklift every day. Don't get me wrong, being forklift certified is one of the greatest achievements a man can have. But but yeah, but yeah, I would love to do this full time. But right now, it's like I'm the only source of income in my house, so it's really hard. I mean, it's hard for me to get out at all. I have 2 kids and a wife. I feel like somehow I've gotten out of frame. Maybe it's this hat pushing down. I've got this nice hat protecting you guys from the snow. Sorry, everyone. I wish there was a way to make text bigger because I'm filming off my phone. And let it get monetized. You'll see how it works. Yeah. I technically should be at the threshold for being monetized. I have the right amount of watch hours. It only takes 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. According to my YouTube studio app, which is where you like manage your channel and stuff. According to that, I am at like 3,500 watch hours, and now I'm at 1,000 subscribers, which thanks again everyone who subscribed. That's freaking awesome. I'm really excited about that. I think I'm going to do a knife and maybe a belt pouch. Well, I did a belt pouch with the first one. This will be like a nice leather one. Need to grab a different pair of tongs. There they are. They fell off and fell in the snow. I can't believe that guy asked why I was using a green screen. That's funny to me. Oh, that snow's all melting. My anvil's heating up. It's awesome. Chat, is Hatman Chatman? Thanks for taking the time to entertain us, friend. No problem. Thanks for watching. Isn't cooking something? You're not playing any music, not using anyone else's content, so yeah. Well, you have to apply to be like a YouTube partner. And that's how they monetize you. I mean, I am going to make a Patreon. I had a lot of people suggest it. I wasn't going to do it, but I had a lot of people in chat suggest that I do it. Because I mean, it's like even like honestly, like having a YouTube channel and doing the things I do, especially like forging, costs money. Like this tank of propane cost me $40, and I can't do that all the time. I'm not that well off to be able to like drop. You know, it needs to be replaced about every 3 times I forge, especially like these live streams. But yeah, even just to help cover that, I don't know how many people will join a Patreon for mine, but I'm gonna still put it out there now that I'm at 1,000. I have some really cool stuff planned for it. I'm gonna have like for the top tier. Let me know if you guys are into this. We can workshop this as like live. Get this big old piece of steel. Drop her in the water, the oil rather. We need her at about 300 degrees, about the same temperature as frying oil. What am I making? I'm making some knives. Yeah, it isn't cheap at all. Oh man, it smells like a fast food fire in here. Oh. Yeah, it's not cheap at all. Uncle Buck. Oh, the hat. It's the hat. Yeah, I got it. I've never had Uncle Buck before. You know, I'll take Uncle Buck over Chum Lee from Pawn Stars. That's definitely an improvement, maybe. I don't know. Because Chum Lee's real, and he's really, like, not a good person. I also get the Duck Dynasty guys a lot because I usually wear a bandana. All right, we're going to really start drawing out this tang now. curve in it. Yeah, this will be a nice little carving knife. Probably going to shorten it up when I do the grinding, but a little bit longer than I would like for a carver. But that's okay. Ooh, no, it's going to be a spoon knife, guys. It's on my list of stuff to do today. I actually wrote out what I want to do instead of just being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to make something. Figured you guys would deserve a little bit more thought on my part. How hot is this? Oh, she's still pretty hot. But this is a little elbow adze I forged. It's going to be a nice little carving tool. I got to clean up the tip. I'll do that in the grinder, but we're about ready to quench that. Check this oil. Drop in just a little bit of... Perfect. Got a little bubble storm. I dropped a little snow in there. So we'll be able to quench in there now. I thought about getting a little fryer. Those little like tiny home fryers. A little Fry Daddy or whatever they're called. I thought about getting one of those because that literally would get the oil to the perfect temperature to do this. Because you want it about 300, 350 degrees so that the oil moves enough to be able to close in on the knife. Because if I quenched if I got this red hot and dunked it in water, the water wouldn't actually touch the knife until it's too cool for it to really matter, because it forms a steam jacket. It's called the not the Rosenfrost. Oh man, there's a name for it. When stuff's too hot, it won't actually touch any liquids, but if you heat up the oil, it'll be more viscous. Touch it. Be able to actually cool it down fast enough. Because you need it to go from a critical temperature. It's right about that color. I have a big magnet on the back of this. I have one on the front too. But you can see there's no pull on the magnet. We're going to let this cool off. And it'll get to Ferris. Don't miss that smell. Yeah, no, me neither. Definitely don't miss working fast food. Well done, boss. Just kidding. You're amazing. Thank you. All right. So now that's cooling off, you can't really tell, but it's sticking to that magnet a little better. If I had I could just do this. I don't want to do it too long because it'll kill the magnet, but it'll being a real silly Billy today. You'll see it'll pull off of there. I can actually, not really now because it's stuck to that, but I'm gonna let this cool down the rest of the way. What I'm doing is called thermocycling, which is where you get it up to a critical temperature, non-magnetic temperature, which is where you would quench it, and then you let it cool down slowly. I need to use a small hammer for sure, but you get it towards non-magnetic, and you let it cool down slowly, and that way it'll relax the molecular structure of the steel. Because you don't want to quench it when it's the metals. It'll hold stress. Like from all the work you've done on. I'm actually going to point you guys down here for the money shot for the quench. I've got a new tripod, so this bit here, yeah. So we're going to pull this piece of steel for this adze out here in a second. Sorry, I can't see your chats right now. Ooh, almost slipped. But I know that this is, I just know by color. I've worked with 1095 steel a lot, so I know that this is going to be hard to hold. So we're going to take it, we're going to go, yep. And I just want the edge to harden. You move it around. get it as cool as possible. Now that I know the rest of it's not going to be up to critical temperature, I'm just going to go ahead and dump the whole thing. You can see there's a leak in there. Let it cool off the rest of the way. Ooh, gross. It smells like McDonald's. Yeah, you can kind of see the line right here where it hardened. I should have grabbed a file. Actually, I think I have one. Did I think ahead? Oh, look at me. Yep. You hear how it's not wanting to bite in? I'll show you on the other side. Let me bring it back up here. Let's see. Still too hot? Very satisfying. Yeah, she should be fine. I'm going to let her sit there for a second. Cool off the rest of the way. Probably not the smartest idea to let it cool off that quick, but you know what? I'm not the smartest man in the world, so that's okay. Pull this out so I can chat at you guys for a minute. Speaking of, I need to check my chat. Still hot. It may look cool, but if you start blacksmithing, you learn grab a piece of hot metal once. And know nothing about blacksmithing was the significance of the metal being magnetized or not. So basically, okay, so the reason, I'm going to get into a little science here. Magnets, how do they work? So the way they do work, the best of my knowledge, is what makes things magnetic is the grain structure of the steel, the molecular structure of the steel, and the crystalline structure of the steel, rather. It should have been a little bit more kind to this blade, cleaned it up a little bit more often, but molecular structure of the steel, the molecules will kind of be oriented in a specific direction. So, gotta shut my forge off for a minute. There's nothing in there wasting gas. So, I'm very magnetic right now. You'll have different magnets that have different polarities. You've got the north-south pole, which the electrons flow in one direction. From what I understand, there's an attraction. Like, obviously, you can do this any way you want, but if I had another magnet, which I do... Oh, that's my hardy tool, never mind. So, show you with magnets. So, the north-south line, I can't push. It'll kind of, if I let go of it, you'll see it kind of like float. Oh, okay. Well, that'll show you guys. So it'll go whoop, flip. It wants to go on that side. Does not want to necessarily go on this side. I don't know the orientation of this magnet, the north-south line. Okay, right there. I might be able to if I'm careful. Oh no. But it pushes and repels, pushes and pulls. Whenever you get steel to a plastic or a, they call it a plastic state, but whenever you get it to a hot enough temperature, the molecules won't be as aligned. And that's a good way to tell when you want to quench it, because that will make them, it's kind of hard to explain. I don't even know if I can explain it well enough. Pretty much makes it to where it like resets the molecules essentially. It relaxes the crystalline structure of the steel, and that's the right time to quench. Because science. It's really hard to explain other than that. I'm sure you could look it up on YouTube and get a much better explanation than my super, super basic, very light understanding of it. Oh, sirens are back. Something's going on in town. All right, we're going to start this forge back up before it gets too cool. We're going to start back up on this little spoon knife. Curve that to show you guys how to do that. I don't know, it might just be a little carving knife. A spoon knife, I didn't want to put a tip on a spoon knife. I wanted to make it a flat tip so it doesn't bite into the wood as much. You should make yourself a forged Viking axe. I should. I need to. Yeah. Oh, I was going to show you guys the hardness thing. So it won't harden right if it's not up to critical temperature. So listen to this. Here, I'll bring you guys close. You hear how the file kind of skates off? Now we're going to go to the other side. You hear that difference? That's the best way to tell. It doesn't want to dig into the steel as much. Because this is hard. You hear that's more of a dull sound. This is high pitch. Sorry if that's like really loud for you guys. I appreciate. Apologize to any headphone users. Yeah, she's good. So we're going to temper that back. I'll probably do that off camera. It's not really interesting to watch that much, but yeah, it just gets it to a state. You. Do some fine work on this now. Thin it out too much and come back the other way. Usually you don't want to forge this gold. I might crack it again. But it doesn't need to have that much of a tang really for a little carving knife. So I've determined that it will be a little carving knife. I just got to thin out this front some more. Let's see. Hold it with this. It's the only problem with some of these. Once you thin it out too much, you're not able to hold it with certain tongs. I definitely need more tongs. I need to make some. It's just an annoying process to make. Rip headphone users for sure. Can I get an F in the chat for all the headphone users that didn't make it past that noise demonstration? A moment of silence. All right, it's over. Time to yak. Yeah, I appreciate you with the heads up. Like and subscribe. I mean, if you want to subscribe, like that's really cool. I'm not gonna be like one of those guys who pushes that every single time they're on screen. I know it would help the channel grow, but I feel like if you're on YouTube and you have an account on YouTube, you know how to subscribe. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need me to remind you. If you like my stuff, just, you know what to do. I will say there have been times when I've been watching someone and I get so engrossed in what they're doing and enjoy it so much that I don't really think about that, and then I lose that channel forever. There's one guy who did this. It's a really cool carving channel. Maybe, I don't know. I only saw the one video from the guy, but I really love what he did. It was traditional, like Samoan. What is? Can't remember the name of the thing he was carving, but it was a traditional Samoan carving practice. A traditional piece of like art, and I really love that. I really love learning about other cultures and their traditional crafts. Distal taper on this. Definitely need to stop forging. It's so cold, especially in this cold weather. I will crack it. Really should remind people. I would have forgotten. Yeah, I will. I'll try. It makes me feel like, you know, I'm not like wild about self-promotion, you know. Like, I think I make decent content. I'm going to get better. I've only been YouTubing for like 4 months. So, I mean, my content's, of course, going to get better, but I don't know. I'm not like being down on myself. I just know realistically, you know, there's better content out there, and my content is just going to improve realistically. think that's about the profile we're going to want. I don't want to thin it out much more because it'll get a warp. Oh, I just realized. Huh, I still got to quench this knife. It got snowed on. It's about the same size, actually. So we're going to throw this guy in the fire. Because we got to quench him, and my oil should still be pretty warm. I'm going to do, I don't remember if I did thermal. Was anyone here for my last live stream where I worked on that little knife? You guys remember if I thermal cycled that? Self-advocacy is not selfishness. Yeah, I know. I just don't want to give in to the corporate overlords, guys. I don't know. It's just like I have an aversion to it because it's like I associate it with like hustle culture, and it's like I'm not doing this YouTube channel for money. If I end up making money and end up being able to make this my career, amazing, fantastic, life dream. But you know, that's not my goal, is to make money on here. I really want to spread knowledge, and I'm actually gonna thin out this tang on this little guy. I just want to spread knowledge. I just want to, you know, be able to like do things I'm passionate about, and, you know, form a little bit of a community, teach other people, like the chef's DL Turner, the guy who won my 500 subscriber giveaway. He wants to learn how to carve and how to do blacksmithing now because of my channel, you know. And you know, he's a retired, it's burned myself, retired Navy vet. Up to critical temperature, gonna let her cool off. But he's a retired Navy vet. He was like, "Hey, your videos inspired me to do this." I think that's just amazing, man. Like, that's what it's about. That's where I wanted this channel to be for. So it's like, I know if I do that, I'll reach more people. It's just hard to do that without feeling like I'm like being a kind of a sellout. You know, just make big poster to hang on the back that says subscribe. You don't have to say it, LOL. Oh, actually, you know, I wrote on here, before all this rust was here, I wrote subscribe. That's smart. This feels like sacrilege. I don't even know if this has any ink in it. This has been sitting in my apron for like 2 years. Subscribe. There we go. It's backwards. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Figure out how to write backwards. Does that look good? Oh my gosh. Whoa, I've never tried to write backwards before. That actually worked out really well. That makes your content more appealing. The fact that I don't self-promote, or try not to, I can't believe I was able to. You can't read my handwriting most of the time anyway. That's amazing that I was able to write that backwards legibly. Yeah, I always forget that my cameras flip around until I like, because when I get done, before I post these, I always like make sure that I rewatch them before I make them public, just to make sure I didn't say anything really stupid, like read out someone's, you know, name or comment that, like, you know, people try to trick you into saying really stupid stuff. Make sure I didn't get bamboozled or dox myself or something. Yeah, I always forget my stuff's backwards. This is my right hand. All right. Back up to critical temperature. Yep. So I'll have to make a video, guys, about this magnet that's on the back of my anvil. Oh, the fact that I'm not doing it for money. Dude looks like an Angry Birds character. Yeah, I kind of look like the bomb bird. because of my roundness. All right. You know what? I think we're doing enough thermal cycling. I think we're going to start on another little project. I think we're going to work on, how hot is this? Pretty hot still. Wow. It's just because it's sitting in front of that forge. I think we're going to forge actually another, I think I'm going to make a little spoon knife because I like the shape of that already. And I'm just going to pretty much forge a curve into it. Put a bevel on there. So I want to make some more carving tools to get these coopses done a little bit better. Yeah, I appreciate the compliment statement. I appreciate you saying that makes my content more appealing because I'm not just in for money. There's a lot of, I mention this a lot. I don't like feeling like I'm calling out people. I'm just too nice. But I don't like, there's so much fake stuff on YouTube, man. You know, people who, like, okay, so part of the reason I didn't want to make a YouTube is blacksmithing what you do full-time. No, I drive a forklift. Making some knives. Living the dream life much? I wish. Oh, I love Yellow Angry Bird. Okay, cool. But no, I wish I did blacksmithing full-time, but this YouTube channel, it was originally, like, I mean, what I mostly do on this channel, I've just recently done the blacksmithing stuff on here. I planned on doing some of that, but I didn't plan on doing live streams at all, really. It just kind of happened, because I had a kid recently. My son was born about 3 months ago, and there we go, it's a spoon knife. Wow, amazing. My son was born about 3 months ago, and I wanted to still keep making content because if I didn't, the algorithm would murder my channel. I mean, it does every time I don't post. If I don't post something at least once a week, like I didn't post for 7 days straight, and I lost like 30 subscribers. And at my channel views went from like, I don't know, like 200, 300, 1,000 a day to like 20 people watch it. So it's like, so I just started doing the live streams. This is mainly an outdoor channel. Like I do like bushcraft stuff. I do survival skills stuff. I'm going to be doing some winter camping. I really wish I would have been camping when this stuff all came down. But yeah. Possum! Hey, Possum. Shout out to Possum, everyone. One of the subscribers of all time. All right, we've got this up to critical. I don't remember if I did a thermal cycle on here. I'm going to straighten her out, let her cool off. I'm going to work on this spoon knife. I'm going to lay it across the nose. You guys can see that, I hope. Let's try to incorporate a little bit of a curve in here. I've never made a curved knife before. So, how do I straighten this without bending the, as you're watching me learn live, how do I straighten this bit out? Because this curve needs to be like over here. So, I mean, I guess I could just, yeah, okay, that worked. Whew, that was harder than I thought it would be. Gosh, golly gee willikers. So yeah, I'm just gonna, I guess, leave it there. And, wow, okay. I guess I'll just cut it and draw the tang out and make another one. Sorry, I haven't been on the other recent streams. I've been focused on school. That's okay, Possum. School is more important than what I'm doing. Hello, is it made for scrap steel? The little knife I'm making right now is, but the rest of it's mostly 1095 steel, like steel stock that I bought. I gotta put my hat over the phone, protect you guys a little bit because there's ice starting to form. It looks better anyway. Moved you guys a little too far out when I brought you in closer. There we go, nice and cozy. There you go, chat. Guys, I'm still blown away by the fact that I was able to write subscribe backwards. I can't even barely write my own name. Sure. All right, so I guess we're gonna cut. Well, so much for that. Let that warm back up now. Lost all my heat in the mud. I think I'm gonna flip her around. My hands are starting to get tired. Flip her around, stick her back in the fire. I'm gonna cut it right about here, I think. I think it's an awesome channel. Thank you. Where are you? I'm in Missouri, just in my yard. It's definitely, I don't know if it was a good idea to come out and forge this, but you know, I'm staying pretty warm. Got this nice warm forge. My hands aren't cold. My nose, it's about the only thing on me that's cold right now. So, but yeah, we're forging some knives out here today. Having some fun, enjoying this beautiful weather. Oh yeah, I was going to show you guys. I'm probably going to make an entire video about trying to get this magnet off of my handle, because it is a 1,500-pound fishing magnet. And I stuck it on there. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be able to get that off. No, I bent a piece of steel rebar trying to get it off. You know, I'm a pretty strong dude. I can pick up this 200-pound anvil, or 150 or whatever it is. I can pick up this thing by that hook and it not move. I need to level this out a bit better. I've got kind of a crap forging setup. So I literally just came out my yard and just threw it down. Right, you guys in a frame. Oop, lost your hat. Yeah, looks good. Straighten this out. We're just drawing this out. Start working on the tang, which is the part that goes under the blade. Never made a smooth knife before. This will be interesting. But yeah, honestly, like, I need to get my garage set up. Because, like, whereas, you know, it's 20-something degrees today, I'm doing okay. How are your hands not cold? Permanent edition, yeah. Break a tow bar on your truck. Oh. So don't think about that. I'll figure it out. Challenge accepted. I'll get it. Mark my words. I'll either get it. I mean, worst case scenario, it was like $20 on Amazon. To get a magnet, to kill a magnet, if you ever need to kill a really strong magnet, just heat it up. Heat kills magnets. I would prefer not to waste that money. But, you know, if that's the only way to get it off the anvil, which I bought it to put on the anvil anyway, though, so I don't really know why I need it off. Maybe I'm just being a big baby. Oh, I thought I broke the tip off. Oh, it's sinking into the snow. I think I'm gonna make like a little integral bolster out of that. I think I just really want to thin it out. Leave it thick right there and then thin it out there. I think that'd look nice. Oh, excuse me. I've not had much to eat today. That's usually the case. I find that when I live stream, for some reason, I just something always makes it to where I don't get to eat like before. I know I don't need the calories. Just look at me. Looking for a full tang knife for hunting with black powder. Basically a medium-sized patch knife, about almost like a small Bowie knife with antler scales. Do you make them? I haven't made anything exactly like that. I've made patch knives. Are you talking about something like... So patch knives are usually a little bit smaller than that. They're about that size. Just imagine there's a handle here. So are you talking about something about that size? Because that would be what I'd call a medium patch knife. Or are you looking for something that's like a little bit bigger? Because I can make just about anything, honestly. Except I don't do Damascus. I don't really believe in Damascus. It just wastes so much material. I can't really get behind that. Okay, this is a pain in the butt. I think we're going to grab it by the other side. Try to forge this side. Because I'm unbending my knife. You know what? We're just going to straighten her out and rebend it later. And then, yeah. Nice work. Thank you. Congrats on the kid, man. I'd love to get you something from you. Do you have a website or something? I have an Etsy shop, same name as this channel, but I haven't really put much on there. Most of the stuff I've been making is for people who I already was going to give something to. And I need to just set aside a day where all I do is just come out and forge and to get a lot of stock built up. But I work a full-time job. Oh, and thank you. Thank you on the congratulations on the kid, by the way. Before I forget that. But yeah, I work full-time. I just got off a pretty long stretch of work. I'm off a couple days now, though. I'm off for 4 days. But like last week I worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday as well, and I work 12-hour shifts, so it's days where I work, I can't really get out here and do anything. Plus, having a 2-month-old and a 2-year-old almost really makes things hard. Because I can't really leave my wife alone with them for too long because she'll go insane. Damascus is stronger, I believe, because the bonds, but like you said, it wastes a lot of material, really isn't that much stronger. Definitely looks cooler. It definitely does look cooler. It is not stronger. So if you take a homogeneous piece of steel like this is just one solid piece of steel, 1095. Unless there's a manufacturing error when it was made, there's not going to be a fail point. Damascus, the way it's made where you forge weld, if you have an inclusion, which is a place where it didn't weld all the way together, which could be in the middle of a knife, not even be able to see it, it's always going to be stronger to have a blade made from a homogeneous steel, which just means one piece. It is prettier, though. The whole reason Damascus, man, I lose my heat so fast in the cold. The whole reason Damascus exists is because there was a steel that was made in the ancient world called, they called it Damascus, because the legend was it was from Damascus, but that's actually not correct. It's a word that means being like water, because whenever the crystalline structure, whenever it would form, it had a little bit of vanadium in it, so it would cause carbide crystals to form within the steel, and as it would age, it would get these places where it would darken faster than the other spots, like Damascus today. It would get those spots and it looked like waves on water. So we had all these pieces from antiquity, and we had no idea why it did that and how it did that. So people started trying to figure it out. And some people, I believe it was in the 70s or 80s, were like, oh, it's this. It's pattern welded steel, which is what Damascus today is. It's this, and that's why it's so strong, because the Damascus of the old world, there were a lot of myths about it. They said that you could take if I had a sword of Damascus, I could point down in a river, and then put a hair in the water on top of the water. As it would float by, the blade would be able to. It was so sharp, it'd be able to cut that. Which just sound. These are all pretty much debunked because we figured out how to do it. Figured out how to make the stuff, which is literally just canister steel with a little bit of vanadium in it. Vanadium's the secret ingredient that makes it do that. But it's always going to be a stronger piece of steel if it's just one piece of steel and not other pieces of steel fused together. Just that. But there's a lot of myths because the people who thought they came up with it and figured it out, they were like, well, actually, it makes a sharper blade because the higher carbon steel and the lower nickel steel, that's what makes Damascus, is you have a high carbon steel and a stainless steel. One etches black in acid, the other one stays bright. So they said if you did it right, it would make microscopic serrations between the layers of steel as the knife cut, because one's going to be harder, one's going to be softer, being made of two different materials, which was just untrue. Unless there's a channel, I really suggest you check it out because it goes into a lot more detail. I think it's called The Knife Nerd. His dad was like one of the premier Damascus makers, and they made all kinds of Damascus. He ordered some from other smiths too, and they tested everything, and the only one they found that actually had the micro serration thing that they talked about was just straight up nickel, not even steel, but nickel and a high carbon steel put together. They were able to get that micro serrations with that. Yeah, so sorry, I went on a rant. I gotta check on chat. Yes, we are talking about the Great Damascus Misnomer. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Wow, you guys were chatting a lot. Your hand's not cold. Okay, I knew that. Congrats on the kid. Thank you again. Venezuela is done. Are the country? Ruh-roh. Bye, Venezuela. Sorry about your luck. Damascus is stronger because the bonds, but yeah, we were talking about that. Beef here in the tang, more curve in the blade. So it can be used for skinning. I branded a human victim. I'll never tell. Such an informational video. Thank you for your content. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I did. I hope you guys did too. Talking about Damascus misnomer. Let's see. Right, it makes sense. When did blacksmiths stop having religious connotations in human society? And just because of oppression, sometimes in the Bronze Age? Actually, I don't think it really did. There's still a lot of blacksmith mythology. I use a lot of blacksmith lore. Yo from the UK. Hello from America. Okay, this conversation with you guys. Is that Chumley? Nope. I always get one. Have I ever made chainmail? No. That would take a long time, and I don't have a lot of time. I've thought about making chainmail, but that's a lot of work. I mostly make knives. Make some other tools. Made this cool adze earlier, which is a wood carving tool. I think that's just about good. This doesn't need to be crazy or anything. It's just a little spoon knife for me. So we're going to forge that curve back in. Get some thermocycling done, which, speaking of, our lovely dagger prototype for Benadryl is ready for another thermocycle. So is this other carving knife. So you mean a patch knife, something like that, somewhere about there? This is about 3 inches, 3 1/4. And it's definitely got a nice curve. It'd be good for skinning. do one more thermocycle because I'm fairly certain I did already do 2 thermal cycles or 3 on the last live stream. Yeah, sorry to go on that huge Damascus rant. I hope you guys found that interesting. But I can't remember his name, something Woots, because we call it Woots steel now, as I actually have about a 300-year-old piece of Woots steel waiting for a project. So we're gonna call that good. Nice little spoon knife. Check that one off the list. We're gonna get that heated up. Let that start thermocycling. I'm gonna forge it. I'm gonna grind in the blade later. Edge on that. Not really worried about it right now. We're gonna start heating our oil back up again because I'm sure it dropped temperature for another quench. I'll show you guys what happens whenever I put this sacrificial piece of steel in here. All the fire that spits out is storage. Yep, so it's covered in oil. This goes bam a lamb. Usually it spits out a little bit bigger of a fireball than that, but let that cool off. Let that cool off. Okay, well, that's all right, guys. That was a little disappointing. Usually it goes, spits out a big fireball. All right. Sorry, I'm not keeping up on the chat very well. Such an informational video. Thank you for your content. Hope you had oh, I'm like way behind. This hook knife should do much better for you than the one you were using the other day. I think it should, absolutely. Hey, buddy, fancy seeing you here. Hey. I do like $3K for a completely handmade chainmail shirt, honestly. Oh my gosh, I mean, that'd be about right. Because, I mean, it would take hundreds of hours of labor. Well, because, like, so there's different types of chainmail. There's butted chainmail, which is mostly what you see, which is, it is technically period accurate, but not very useful. It's more display, and that's where the rings all link together, but you can pull them apart. You would want a riveted chainmail, and for that you have each ring, you have solid rings, and you'd have to have a couple that are riveted, so you'd have to link together the whole chains with a riveted, and then put a rivet through the ring and seal it together. I do historical reenactment, Viking Age specifically, and we use that there. It's tough stuff. Overdose on Benadryls. Funny. Copper chainmail should weigh less. Yes, but it would be, well, it wouldn't be much lighter than steel chainmail, but it would be a lot less effective. But I mean, honestly, I don't know, because it's like, realistically, how likely is it that if someone had a chainmail, how likely is it that you're going to use that for actual chainmail stuff, being protected from stuff? Like, we use it because we do full contact blunted steel weapons in our reenactment group, but it's like no headshots or anything. We're responsible about it, but forge is going really nice. Go ahead, let's air choke a little bit. Turn my gas down a little bit because it doesn't really need it. Slow down just a little bit because we're mostly thermocycling right now. The real trip was the friends we made along the way. Sorry, I left. Had to check my schoolwork and do homework. Good. Possibly you better do your homework. That's important. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this guy in. He's ready for quench now. No, I still need to make a handle for this. And I want to do a burn in. We can't quench this guy yet. That's why I didn't do it last time. I remember now. We're just going to go ahead and keep thermal cycling this guy. We've got Benadryl's prototype dagger there for the third heat. We're going to bring it out and we're going to let it cool off. Let's see, what else did I have on the agenda for today? Got this fancy schmancy Right in the Rain notebook, which it's full of snow and rain, but it's cool. So we did an elbow adze. That's done. Spoon knife, almost done. Oh, I wanted to make a wide gouge and a bent gouge. A couple of small carving knives. I made one small carving knife, but I want to make some smaller ones. So we're going to take this piece of steel. We're going to do we're going to make a little bent gouge out of that. Now, we'll use this one to make some small carving knives. Might throw some up on my Etsy shop. It's been a nice video to craft along with. Very cool. How would I like to be remembered? What a interesting question. It's a really nice question. I really like that. You know, I've never thought about that. You know, my own mortality is something that I've, came to grips with as a kid. Not that I almost died or anything, but just it's something I thought about. I was kind of a kid. But you want to torch this just a little bit. But I don't know. Fondly, I suppose. I imagine I would want my legacy to be, kind of like when I'm doing on this channel, I'm going to do a trailing tip on this. That looks exactly like a strayed sharp finger now that I'm looking at it, but a little bit smaller. But I don't know. I suppose I'd want to be remembered as someone who, spread positivity and kept. I'm big on keeping ancestral skills alive. That's kind of why I want to do this whole YouTube channel, the survival stuff, the outdoor stuff. Ancestral skills are a big drive for me. I don't want to use this piece of steel. This is like the third time I've heated this one up. It's way too thin for what I want to do. I don't know. Someone who helped carry the ancestral flame for another generation. Now, I think that's pretty important. I think this would be good for a nice little carving knife. I think that's what we're going to use. I just don't want people to remember and be like, oh, that guy didn't do anything. I know ultimately, it's starting to sleet now instead of snow. Great video and personality. Keep it up. Thank you. This is sick. Nice stream. Thank you. I've never watched a live stream for this long. That's awesome. That's a big compliment. But yeah, just, if I can inspire people with my channel to not to get too, high on myself or anything, but if I can inspire people to take up a new skill or learn something or get outside for a little bit more, a little bit more often and, with my survival skill stuff, if I can teach people, something that may help them in an actual survival situation, amazing. That's a little bit of a change I've made in the world for the better. If I'm blacksmithing or doing wood carving and I show someone something that, inspires them to learn too, that's a skill, that's a passion that someone's gotten from my passion. And I think that's really what it boils down to. That's kind of what I want. I want that to be my legacy. I want my passion to lead other people to their passions. And it's in the age of information. Information has never been more accessible than it is now. A lot of misinformation now too, but it's the best time in the world to learn a skill. I'm a leather worker, I'm a blacksmith, I'm a woodworker, I'm a bladesmith, which is a different skill set, I would say, than a blacksmith. But I do metal casting, jewelry making, coin making, all kinds of stuff. I have outdoor skills. I cook. I do all kinds of stuff. It's without the internet the way it is now, I would have never been able to do that. And it's like I just want to help lead people to do something they're passionate about. I mean, that's really it. Let's see. How can I get into it on a budget? I've always wanted blacksmithing. I wanted to do blacksmithing ever since my middle school shop class, but haven't had the funds to justify spending on anvils, forges, and hammers and everything. So what I'm going to suggest, what I always suggest, Facebook Marketplace. Watch out for really good deals. Check every day. Get your algorithm on there to feed you all the things that come up. Just like literally search for like forge, anvil, hammers, blacksmith tongs. Try to find that. Try to do that. Try to get it to give you all the best stuff. Because I mean, I see anvils go like this anvil here. This thing's worth about $1,400, honestly, because it's a Peterson Wright 1890 something. It's an old anvil. It's heavy. They're very desirable because they're very good anvils. But I picked this up for cheap at a antique shop. I saw one of these go the other day for $200, which is like a lot. But it's not that much. The other day I went to an auction and I picked up a little tiny baby anvil for I think $20, and it would be more than enough to get started on. If you wanted to start getting, forging and everything, that's perfectly fine. Almost every single one of my hammers is from an antique shop or a garage sale, Facebook Marketplace. I don't think I've ever bought a new hammer, but I mean, I saw someone brought up Harbor Freight earlier. Harbor Freight's a really great resource. You can buy a cheap, crappy anvil there. And, it may not be the best. It's soft metal, but it's good enough for starting. $34 at Harbor Freight. Like $5 hammer, $5 angle grinder to cut steel so you can make it more manageable. A hair dryer with lump charcoal from Walmart and a hole in your ground. That's enough to get started. I'm going to make some, I have a lot of people ask that, so I think I'm going to make a couple videos, subscribe so you can catch those later on. But I'm going to have like videos like forging how to start forging for cheap. Because it's rough out there right now. I'm going to be honest, this is my first forging live stream I've done in a while. I've been doing carving because I'm going to be honest, I just haven't had the money to buy propane. And I mean, that's 100% legit. That's not even me trying to make a point or anything. That's just the way it is. It's tough out there right now. It's really hard to get into a hobby. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely make some stuff. I have a video planned. I bought the cheapest carving stuff on Amazon that I could find, like a nice, decent little set that has most of the tools I need to carve some stuff. I'm gonna be doing a review of that because it's like $24 for like 12 tools. So I mean, $2 a pop. That's pretty good. Let me catch up on the chat a little bit here. Give me just a second. Get my chair not covered in snow. Oh, that's ice. Scrape that up. We're just gonna have a little bit of a wet butt while I read these. I think we'll sit break. Let's see. Man, you guys are chatting. I appreciate it. Oh, excuse me. Would you like to be remembered? Let's see. Uh-oh. This has been a nice video to craft along with. Read that. I've ever used a flat pry bar to make anything out of. I haven't, but I've used a round one. What is your greatest accomplishment? I'd say my kids. I love my kids. I know it's like kind of a generic answer, but I think they're the best thing I've ever made. Helped make. Let's see. They're $2.99 Harbor Freight. I've tested them, see if it's high carbon. I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. One could think with all this snow around, it might be cold there. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. You consider yourself a subscriber? Thank you. Appreciate you. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, cool. How can you get into it at a budget? So I went on a tangent about. I think I'm caught up on the live. Cool. What's your greatest accomplishment? Is that a hammer of Thor? Driving ships to new lands? It's a hammer. Actually, I wonder what happened to that. I had started to forge a Thor's hammer flint steel striker. So I'm just trying to flatten this bar out, this round piece of spring, so I can make a couple little carving knives. Yeah, it's definitely starting to get chilly since I've turned that forge down. It's about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know the conversion for that, I'm sorry. To all my everywhere else in the world. It's below freezing. It's below 0 Celsius, so that's all I know. I'm actually going to turn my forge back up a little bit, just to warm up a bit. That's feeling nice. Bro, please. Come to eat chicken tikka, eat and drink rum. Yeah, that'd be cool. I would be down for that. I love food. I love rum too. Big rum guy. Not because I usually look like a pirate. That may be something to do with it, but usually I have a bandana on, having a beard. I'll take pirate over what's his name from Duck Dynasty. All right, we got her flattened out. Time to make a couple little knives. I think I'm gonna try to bust out a couple little carving knives. I'm thinking maybe like 3. Try to bust out like 3. You gotta add knitting or crocheting to your repertoire so you can make a nice pair of wool gloves. I've tried. I've tried one of them. I can't wrap my brain around it. Dodo can be turned into natural gas. Do you know dodo? Like the dodo bird? Or do you mean doo-doo? Oh, you mean like methane gas? Yeah. I did know that. Sworn. That throws camera in here, but it's not. Oh well. Hey, Action Broson, aren't you supposed to be rapping? Yo, no. What you making, broski? I am making some knives. I've got a couple cooling off here, just about ready for quench. Got this little carver / skinner. Little dagger. Ooh. This little guy. A spoon curved carving knife, carving spoon bowls. And then we're going to be making a couple little carving knives. I need to start quenching them. I'm just waiting for this to get up to temperature. Where's my axe? There it is. Yeah, I think we can get about 3 out of this. They're just going to be little guys, though. Hear that sizzle, sizzle. I don't know if the mic's picking it up. We're just going to cut this at an angle. We're going to put her back in. I'm going to make one more start cut. Just cut part of the way through. They'll kind of form a little bit of the tip. Let's see, right on. Gruff, where's my axe? Has got to be the most mountain man thing I've heard from you today so far. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's funny. Appreciate that. Woo. Wedge, there we go. That's fun. All right, we're gonna start warming up. This isn't quite as hot as I would like for it to be, but we're gonna start warming up this oil again. Man, I've got ice forming where I've been walking. I need to throw down something. Be fun. Let that do its thing. Warm that oil up. Start cutting on this some more. I think we're going to go for right about there. Oops. That's why you don't strike too many times. Because if your cutting axe bounces out, it'll go to another spot before you strike, and then you'll have two little cuts. Show you guys what I did, being a big silly Billy. Until you get your cut deep enough, you definitely want to make sure it's back in every single time. Just about there. You can see where it jumped out. I had to put a second cut in. But we're going to do one more heat. We're going to get a little bit deeper on those cuts. And then we're going to cut it through the rest of the way. Roll my sleeves back down. Getting ice on my arm hairs. I don't know if you guys can see that. Definitely getting a little chilly. I need to start swinging the hammer a little bit more, earn some more body heat. Maybe I'll start another knife. R2 Yadzawa bro. I don't know what that means. I want to be honest. I don't know. Oh, I stepped on my notebook. Whoop. That's definitely too hot. Get her heated up a bit. Hell, I'm slowing down a bit. I don't want to cut through it all the way, so if I do, it'll like fling towards me. I think that should be good. I'm just going to go ahead and actually I'm going to throw some of these knives in to get up to critical temperature. I think we're going to quench this little... No, we're not going to quench it. I'd say we're going to quench this dagger, but we're not doing that. That dagger's not ready. I gotta go grab my vermiculite, which is a potting soil, which pretty much what it does is cools it down really slow. It's very fire resistant. So I'll be right back. I'm going to talk to you guys for a second while I'm wandering off to go get a container for this. But what it does is I'm going to get it up to temperature like I'm going to quench it. And I'm going to put it in this vermiculite. And it's going to cool it down very slowly. I mean, like, really slowly. Like, probably over the next... It might still be too hot in the morning to touch, because this vermiculite is such a great insulator. Oops. Yeah, it's a knife. That way I can grind on this because I didn't forge in any bevels. Oh, didn't forge any bevels in on this dagger because I want to grind them in. We're going real old world with this one. You can also use ashes, white ashes from a fireplace or something. Stick your knife in there. It's called annealing. I'm gonna fill this with vermiculite. Just gonna put it in there. Once it gets up to critical temperature, it just makes it way easier to grind. But yeah, that ultimate shape on that was to your liking, Benadryl. Too cold, just go inside for the day. Nah, that's quitter talk. I'll be okay, I'm fine. I know when I'm getting too cold. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this guy off. I know these pieces of steel look really small, and they are, but they're just gonna be itty bitty little carving knives. Perfect. Now we got 3 tiny little carving knives. I'm working on one at a time since these are such small pieces of steel. Basically, all I'm going to be doing with these is shaping the tip just a little bit and shaping the tip and drawing out the tangs so they'll sit in the knife blade and shaping the blade itself. Definitely not up to temperature. Can't wait to see what you do with it. Do you want me to? I can use that one if you'd like. I don't have to use that one. I do have another special piece of steel picked out for that. But if you like that I forged that one in front of you and you can see that one, I'll use that one. There we go. Propane tank's getting a little too cold. I need like a space heater or something set next to it. The forge is definitely not running very hot. Made these pieces of steel really hard to grab. Just go ahead and stay in here. Catch up on chat here in a second. Appreciate you guys for watching, hanging out, chatting with me. So I want that to be right about. There she goes. Maybe I will put a second one in there. Just to keep this going a little bit faster. It shouldn't take long to heat up. Yeah, there's like literally ice crystals forming on the outside of my my propane tank. Sizzle, sizzle. Blacksmithing ASMR. That's some stuff to give you. Toss it into the one you plan to make for me. That's okay. Cool. Yeah. So if you end up needing more wood for me, let me know. Carve some more up. Okay. Cool. It should be, especially with one that size. A blade that size isn't going to need like a giant handle. And like you said you had some baby hands, so. One thing I like to do, especially with people who have vastly different size hands than me, one thing I like to do, I may have you create your hand like a turkey but closed, like you're drawing a turkey. But that way, I can see where your fingers lay, and I can make it custom to your hand specifically. A little bit of even more secret sauce. Mystic Forge secret techniques. We're going to come up a little bit more. Draw this tang out a bit more. I don't need the blade to be quite that long, especially since it will draw out as I'm forging the blade shape. Yep, get her back in. That'll heat up quick. Got it just about up to temperature. Move it around a little bit just to even everything up. And then once it's non-magnetic, which it is, put it in there just for a second. Bring this guy up so you guys can see. It's literally just like a sand looking stuff. Just vermiculite from the store. Nothing special, but what it'll do is it'll hold the heat, pull it down really slow, relax the molecular structure of the steel. So it'll be just about as cold as it can be, or as warm as it can be, pull down as slowly as possible. Just going to bury it without touching that little bit sticking out. I'll leave it there until it pulls off. It could be days. Really interesting technique. I don't know who figured that out first, but it must have been experimenting. But that'll make it easier for me to grind. For sure. Oh, I didn't tell you guys about my terrible breakfast experience. So I went to McDonald's, picked up food for my wife, picked up some for myself too. I ordered a bagel because those are back. I haven't had them since they were back. I ordered that and they didn't give me my bagel. And of course, it was by the time I got home, it was after breakfast. So we got up a little bit late, moving around a little bit late today. So I call them and they're like, oh yeah, you can have whatever you want. I'm like, cool. Thanks for being cool about it. And so I was like, oh, whatever, I'll get a chicken sandwich. So I get a chicken sandwich, get like halfway done with it. I'm like, wow, this is really moist. It's kind of chewy though. And it wasn't like super undercooked, but it was definitely undercooked. So all I've had today is a hash brown for my breakfast and half of an uncooked chicken sandwich. Undercooked chicken sandwich, I should say. And I've been foraging. Your guys' encouraging statements have been sustaining me through this foraging session. So we're just about got this tang where I like it. And when I get off here, I think I'm gonna go and have a little bit of soup. So this is gonna be a real small carver. So we're gonna draw that tip out a little bit more. We're gonna widen it out. We're gonna bend this tip that way. And then we're gonna call it good. I'm gonna start thermocycling some other stuff. This spoon's got 2 more heats on it. Spoon knife, rather. Put this guy in for his second heat. I think I'm gonna throw him the vermiculite too. I keep seeing the reflection of the yellow from the stinking shirt on the steel. I'm like, there's no way that's still got heat, that color heat in it. If I end up needing more wood for me, oh yeah, I already read that. Oh, that's smart. Oh no, I'd be livid. Yeah, I was had a pretty bad time. Not as bad. I'm gonna put my local hometown's Burger King on blast right now because it was literally the worst experience I've ever had at a fast food place. And like, I feel kind of like a Karen, but I also don't because it was ridiculous. My wife really likes the croissants from Burger King, the croissant witches, whatever they're called. And Burger King breakfast is okay. So I just was like, whatever, I'll get it. You know, usually the first day of my days off, we like to kind of treat ourselves to going out to eat for breakfast. Haven't been doing it a whole lot lately because it's really expensive. So, you know, it's a treat. So I get the enormous burrito, which I like there because it's kind of got like everything in a burrito. Everything that's breakfast related in burrito form. And I get it. And I get home and everything. All her food's in there. My burrito's not in there. So I'm like, whatever. It's not a big deal. I live pretty close. I started driving back. I'm like, they just must have forgot. Maybe it's still sitting there. You know, is that like, is literally a minute. I call him back, or I call him. And I'm like, hey, I just came through. I didn't get my burrito. I'm heading back in so you guys can replace that for me. You know, give it to me and whatever. And the lady on the phone, who was the manager, she said, well, I'm bagging orders myself. I don't believe you. Bye. And then hung up. I have never been. I don't know if it's like I'm losing patience in my old age of 30 something. But man, I was livid, dude. I like sped there. I went in. I was like standing at the front counter with my receipt in my hand. And she was like, oh, hey, can I help you? And I recognized her voice, so I knew it was the same lady. I said, as I said on the phone, I did not get my burrito that I paid for. And it's like a $7 burrito. So like, that's a lot of money to just like give up on. And I said, as I said on the phone, I'm here to get my burrito that I didn't get. And she said, whatever. And then still ended up giving it to me. But man, it's like she was giving me dirty looks, side eye and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna need corporate's number. I've never been that much of a Karen in my life. But I was like, I'm gonna need corporate's number, and she's like, well, I don't know it. I'm like, okay, cool. Went out, went into Google. Apparently, they don't have a corporate number. They don't have a phone number. Burger King doesn't. So I went on Google Maps. I did a little review on the receipt. I sent an email to Burger King corporate through their website. Like I did everything. I put her on blast, and I was like, absolutely unacceptable. Because that's like, I worked in fast food for years and years and years and years, and never once was I that rude to anyone. I got burned by a lady with a cigarette once. That wasn't even rude to her. She was like at the back window and like held up our line for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, which in fast food that's like 10 years. But I was like, ma'am, you're gonna have to pay. She had her cigarette in her hand. She was holding her credit card in that same hand while on her phone, and she flipped her hand over real quick and burned me with her cigarette. And then she called me an effing idiot because I wasn't paying attention. I'm a pretty patient guy, but man, that put me. Told my manager that it happened, and she like about went through the window and got her. So sad. I feel like it has been. Burger King's gone downhill, at least based off the last few jobs, I bet. And yeah, it was crazy for sure. I don't get how they can mess up so much fast food restaurants. I kind of can. I worked in fast food for a long time. Just up until like maybe like 6-7 years ago. But even then, I'd go in and help. My wife, she worked at a fast food place, so I'd go in and help her out when they were short-staffed. So I mean, I've done it pretty recently, like within the last 3 years. Made this knife a little too small. It's kind of a pain to. Oh no, it's sinking below the ice. I think Actually, I think that's probably good. I think I'm just gonna trim up that back end with a grinder. Or we're just gonna straighten it out. But yeah, man, I still remember that lady and everything. But yeah, no, it's like it's fast paced. There's a high turnover rate, so there's a lot of like teenagers working there, especially too. So it's like your first job, you don't really know procedure. Most of the time, the training doesn't exist. They literally just like show you how to do things once and then just throw you to the wolves. But yeah, I can understand how the places mess that up. That's why I'm usually really understanding, because I know how it is. I've been there. fast food sucks. Working a fast food job really sucks. And it seems like when you work fast food, people treat you like less of a person. Sorry to go on this huge like fast food rant, but man, and I've seen it. It's like my current job. I tell people I'm working on, they're like, "Oh, that's really cool." Well, all I'm doing is driving a forklift. It's not anything spectacular or cool. But it's like if you tell someone you work, "Oh, I'm back cash at McDonald's," they're like, "Oh, okay." And it's like they just think lesser of you because you're working maybe at the only job in your town. Or they just assume you're not intelligent enough or something. And sports go this propane tank's freezing up. But I don't know. It's like people just treat fast food workers like the scum of the earth. That's not really fair because usually it's people who don't have a lot of other options, for one reason or another. I know I worked fast food for as long as I did because I didn't have a car and I couldn't afford a car because I worked fast food. And you don't really make like a living wage in fast food. I mean, I was like a shift lead and everything, and trainer, all that. You just really don't make enough to get out of it, and it really sucks. But yeah, forgot why I went on that whole rant. Start up another little forever night. Bro, hit us with a 6-7, no way. Sheesh. Got some Gen Zs in the chat. Oh, it's you, Benadryl. Okay. Deer. Oh, was there a deer in my yard? That happens. That happens pretty often. I'm forming a layer of ice under my feet where I've made it really slick. I need to put, I would say salt, but I don't think that would really help with dirt. I'm going to make this guy a little bit bigger. Thing is, when you start like thinning out tangles like that, they heat up faster and faster. Dump some wood ash on that icy spot under your feet. It'll be perfect after that. I would, but all my wood ash is like under ice and snow. We've probably gotten, I don't know, 7-8 inches of ice or snow in the last 3 days. Got something. Perfect. Gonna stand on this grill grate. You know what? Actually, no, I'm just kidding. Man. I could go for a nice cup of broth. Broth sounds really good right now. Some nice warm broth. Not big on I really got to be in the mood for hot beverages. But some nice beef bone broth right now. Oh, buddy. Or some chicken broth. I think that'd be good too. I'll widen this blade out a bit more just to thin it out. I'm not Gen Z, I just have terminal brain rot. Me too! I don't do that. Not much for the. I can't even really talk about it on Facebook or MySpace. Whoa, aged myself there. Can't really talk about it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't really smoke anything. never really got into it. All my friends were like super pushy about it when I grew up, so now I don't want to do it at all out of spite. Literally one time, I don't know if I can tell this story on YouTube. This is like borderline like abusive, but yeah, like one time my friends, former friends, my friends at the time, were hanging out there smoking and stuff, and I was like, I'm not really into that. I'm not really interested. And they literally held me down and like tried to put like a smoking apparatus in my mouth. And like, I was not for it. I think that's that's the main real reason I don't do that. No, nothing against it though. First job was fast food too. They made me assistant manager within a year, only 19 years old, paid me salary of $2,000 a month, working 60, 70 hours a week. Too dumb the time to note I took a bad deal. Yeah. That's just the thing. It's like they really love taking advantage of people. Fast food places. And it's really sad because a lot of our young workers go there and everything. Oh, I want to make a coal roasting knife too. Dang it. Do I have any more spring steel? I want something around. They said it was perfect. But yeah, it's like these, young people who enter the workforce who don't know better. They really don't know better, so it's like they come in and they're like, well, now you're responsible. And, they go and they tell their parents and family and stuff. They're like, well, I'm a manager, assistant manager. And everyone's always so proud, especially people who don't know that it's like they're literally being taken advantage of. It's like if you told your parents, it's like, well, I'm an assistant manager now. And I did that within this amount of time. It's like you get pressure from there. You get pressure from your workplace to continue doing what you're doing. And it just ends up being really bad. Kind of what happened to my wife is like it was her first major job working in fast food. And she just stayed there. She was like so burnt out and miserable. And like, it wasn't until we had our first kid that she was so stressed out. She was worried about losing the baby. And it's like, she was really good at her job. So good that they used her as an example at like a big conference with all the corporate people. And they're like, these numbers are amazing for this thing. Try to be like this person. Like, she never got credit for it, really, except for like a attaboy, or attagirl rather, from one of the supervisors who was there who mentioned it to her. And that was all that came from it. And then like a week later, they were acting like she was just this absolute moron. They treated her like she was stupid because someone made a mistake. And there was a mistake on the orders that she was responsible for. Like, basically it's like, okay, so the way at this restaurant that they do the Coca-Cola comes in its own entirely different like tank. It's not like one of those little like syrup bags like most other places. You guys are going to hear a train, I apologize. I live right next to the tracks. So someone had changed the tank over halfway through, so they thought they had a full tank, but it was a half tank, and they ran out of Coke before the next order thing. And her boss just treated her like she was just scum of the earth. Like a week ago, she had not, complimented her and told her that she was literally the best in the entire multinational conglomerate with food. Like she, I don't know. I've been going on a lot of rants today. Feeling very ranty, probably because I'm hangry. But yeah. Luckily, she's not there anymore. And it's like, whereas, we may be doing a little worse off financially because she's not working. I'd much rather have her home with our children. Someone I trust to have their well-being in mind and not having to pay, $600 a week for daycare where I'm at. Also, so it's a win-win. We're just lucky. I dread her going. If we ever get to a point where she has to go back, it's not good. We got this nice little guy forged out. Sorry I'm rambling so much today, guys. Unless you're into it, then cool. Then I'm not sorry. Management jobs are bad. I had one when I was 17. I'll never do it again. Turned down a few supervisor management positions from that. Not worth the extra dollars. Yeah. Well, like being salary versus hourly, it's just never a good idea. They always take advantage of those people. I've never met anyone who was like, yeah, it's really worth it to be a supervisor, unless those people are the bad supervisors who literally just sit in an office all day or something. Sorry if you're a supervisor who sits in an office all day and plays on Facebook. I've had a couple of those in my day. I really love when they hit you with the, oh, you need to be picking up pace at work while they're literally playing on their phones all day. Sort of garbage. Now, yes, it is. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yep. Straighten this out. Some more. Now we're gonna be making a coal rosing knife, which is a traditional Scandinavian art style for decorating wood. I think I'm gonna probably be heading in a little bit. I am starting to get cold, and my propane tank is freezing. Shake it up a little bit. Get it going just a little bit better, but typically I'd put this in a tub of hot water, but I don't have a tub big enough to do that with. Or warm water, at least. I really need to work on getting my garage set up. Man, just the second I bring it out, it's getting colder for sure. I can feel it in the air, and I can see it in the steel. About there though. I'm gonna do one more little carving knife blank. I'll probably guys, if you're watching, make sure to like and subscribe, all that stuff, blah blah blah, YouTuber stuff. But I have I have a Facebook. I'm gonna be doing a Patreon. Keep an eye out for that soon if you're interested in that. I'm gonna have a free tier where you can like kind of see some of the stuff I post when I'm done with it. I'm pretty sure I can have a free tier. Maybe I'll make it like $1 or something. I don't know if there's a free tier. I don't know if you can do that on Patreon. But I'm going to be starting a Patreon now that I'm at 1,000 subscribers, which thanks again for that, everyone. Woo! Very exciting. Hot. Oh, man. Ooh. Man, I need this side hot. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a Patreon, working on a Discord. I don't know how Discord works. It's been really something to try to get it figured out. Because I'm trying to make it to where the Patreon, there's tiers, like everyone will have access to the Patreon or the Discord who's a Patreon supporter. But there will be certain ones for like top tier. Like top tier is going to have a quarterly challenge box where I mail out a box with like custom made stuff. Like maybe I'll send out a spoon carving knife and wood for carving a spoon. And then everyone will share like what they do on the Discord, show how their spoon turned out, tips, talk about the process, talk about what they learned. Every one of those will come with a video with it. I mean, I don't really know how it's received. I don't really know of anyone else who's done that. I don't know if that's something you guys would really be interested in too much, but I'm going to put it out there. If people are into it, they're into it. If it helps put, food on my table and helps put gas in my forge, that really helps me out either way. And I wanted to carve a bit gouge where I finished up today, but I just don't know if that's in the cards. Definitely cooling down a lot. I got some other little side project stuff people have paid for already that I need to work on as well. It's not necessarily entertaining enough for YouTube live. Plus my tank's freezing up real bad. So maybe we may be drawn into the end. It's cool getting to watch you work. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Zero. Yeah, actually, Zero, I'll probably hit you up and talk to you about some of the ideas, see what you think. I very much value your opinion as one of the OGs. Straighten this out. I do want to get this one last knife, little coal rosing knife, carved in or made in, forged in. Jeez, yeah, I'm getting cold. Starting to. I have thermic. Fingertips are still fine. My nose is chilly. I'm not shaking, so I have not been shaking at all, so I'm not worried about hypothermia. I think I'm just tired and hungry. I'm getting a little bit cold. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my monetization because I'm there. It says I have like 500 or so over what I need to be 500 watch hours or so. I think it's like 3,600 watch hours altogether. And you only need 3,000 watch hours. But it says I still can't apply for partnership, which I totally will. Because like, even if I make $40 a month, you know, that's a whole tank of propane. You know, so that helps pay for the channel. Oh man, awkward to hold. Yeah, definitely slowing down. I think I need to eat something. I don't think I'm coming back out after this live stream is over. Because sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll like clean up my main stuff, rest for a little bit, eat some stuff, and then I'll come back and do some carving. Actually, really, I mean, a lot of these tools are going to be for carving, so I would love for them to be done so I can kind of test them on my current project, which is a Kuxa, but it's frozen in a big block of ice right now, so. Just about there. Draw that out a bit. Now this has a split end. Try to kind of flatten that out a little bit. Ooh. A little bit over. Yeah, it's got a cold crack in it from when it was a spring. Talk to you later. See you, Hat Man. I'm making some knives. Got some cooling off. Got one in the forge. Right now I'm making some little carving knives and a coal rosing knife. Coal rosing is a really cool thing. I'm about to be going in though. Making just a little itty bitty knife. I'll show you once it's lost all of its color. I gotta work it fast. Because we're losing heat fast in this cold. It's about 20 something degrees where I'm at. I am outside, as you can see. Show you, this is just going to be a little itty bitty baby carving knife. Just we're kind of getting the rough shape in, but I'm trying to draw this out because that'll be where the handle goes. These are just going to be knives for myself, so I'm not really worried about them being too pretty. I just needed some finer carving knives because all my carving knives are pretty big. This one's going to be for coal rosing, but I got to cut this end off. Cold rosing is a traditional Scandinavian art style where you put a shallow cut in wood. Man, I got smacked with that piece of steel. I don't even know where it went. Talk to you later. Yep, bye everyone. Well, bye everyone who left. Bye Hat Hosting, Bid and Drill. Let's see. Definitely slowing down a bit. Especially my forge isn't able to keep up with the cold very well. Just more motivation for me to get my workshop set up. We're just trying to draw. Ooh, that was a bad mistake. Straighten this guy out. Definitely forging this a little too cold. But you know, this isn't going to be a chopping knife or anything. It doesn't need to be super structurally strong. And it's just about where I want it. So we're going to put this in, get it up to temperature, put it in the vermiculite with the other knives so it's cool enough for me to grind easily. We're going to do that with all the knives, actually. This guy going. Yeah, I think we're just about at the end of this live stream. I've been sitting out in this cold for about 3 hours. Definitely starting to get to me. Yeah, my propane tank is frozen to the ground at the moment. Definitely feels nice having that heat come from it, though. Hey, welcome everyone. Forging some knives today. Got this guy. Little carving knife, going to go into the vermiculite. Going to cool off for a bit. Coming to the end of this live stream. I forged about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knives. And this elbow adds, which this will go into a piece of wood, kind of like, it'll be attached kind of like this, and I'll use it for chopping. I'm gonna drill some holes in it. Yeah, we're shutting up shop for the day. Subscribe. I do these just about once a week. I'll probably be doing another one later on this week. I've got some days off. I've got like 4 days off. It's just about where I want that. It's going to be a cold rosing knife. I'm just going to trim that off so I can put it in a handle. Let's get some light taps at the end here. That's about all the way through. And we're going to come in with this guy. There we go. Bam. Then we're going to put this over here. Yep, definitely slowing down. I need to eat something. Another reason this live stream's almost over. I haven't really eaten much today and then swung around hammers for a few hours. In the cold. Just being in the cold saps a lot of calories out of you, keeping you warm. Take this guy, he's hot, put it in the vermiculite. Cover it up. debating what I want to do with this spoon carving knife. So I want to draw the tang on that out a little bit more. Definitely want to. We're going to do that. I just pulled it out because I needed to thermocycle it. I am back. Welcome back. Yeah, I got to send out some packages today as well. Maybe getting late for that. I think the post office closes at 5. So I need to send those out. One of those to go to you, Zero. Thank you again so much for ordering that spoon. My first Etsy shop sale. Very cool. Made my day. Sure, I'm glad it's going to you too. Definitely been a friend of the channel. Been there since the beginning. Helped with moderation. Very cool. Can't tell you how much I appreciate you. I need to stop carving, or stop carving. Need to stop forging that cold. Oh no! Drop my spoon carving knife in between the fire brick and my side of my wall of my forge. Not gonna really hurt it. It's just annoying. There we go. Oh, misstrike. That's a dinger. Yeah, I didn't imagine this live stream would be nearly as big as like some of my others. Because, man, I had, my last one was an hour only an hour, and it was the 500 subscriber giveaway announcement. And that one had 40,000 people. One before that was 100,000. But I was also doing those on weekends. And I don't imagine Monday is peak hour or peak time for everyone to watch my stuff. Just drawing out some tangs now. Been out here for like 4 hours. I sure have. Definitely cold's getting to me a little bit. Not shaking yet, but I'm definitely feeling cold. Definitely shouldn't have come out on a mostly empty stomach. Just about there with the tang on that one. You know, it's all about being out here and making some. I also kind of wanted the novel experience of, at least novel for me, novel experience of coming out here and forging in snow. I wasn't gonna today. Didn't even know it was supposed to snow. But I planned on doing like a carving live stream for tomorrow. Straighten this out. Oop. Just about there. I plan on doing a carving live stream tomorrow. And all the snow came out of nowhere. Literally dumped down like 2 inches or 3 inches of snow in like an hour. thought that would make for some nice YouTube. Definitely a little bit of a clickbaity title, being like, "Oh, forging in a snowstorm," which the snowstorm's not really much of a thing now, but unfortunately on YouTube you kind of have to do that, which I hate. It's like, it's funny because, like, you know, my channel is mostly bushcraft and like survival stuff. And I don't know how I did those. Oh yeah, I do. The most popular videos in those genres are either women, like clickbait, or like farm baiting, or clickbaiting. You see a scantily clad woman, you know, doing, sometimes it's cool stuff, but it's like you can very much tell that it's like they're not really there to teach you things. They're there to just get clicks and views. And you get other stuff like oh, the really extreme, like, "Oh, I dug an underground shelter to escape from wolves." You know, it's really sensational stuff, you know. It's not anything new. It's not anything specific to YouTube. But it's, I mean, because it's like, look at the headlines of newspapers, they're the same thing. Media's always kind of been that way. That's why you had like stuff like back in the 1500s, it'd be like, "The skeletons of 500 giants have been found in this burial mound. Farmer sells remains to P.T. Barnum." You know, stuff like that. Sensational stuff to get you to watch, but it just really sucks. Been watching with my bride. Your hammer strikes are getting much shorter. Might be a good time to quit, as much as I enjoy watching. Yeah. I'm also trying to do lighter strikes with this one because I've been swinging the big one all day. I mean, with as fine as this stuff is, I really should be swinging something like this. But yeah, I'm going to finish this one up and head in. For sure. I think I'm at the end of where I want to be. I need to go in and eat something. I need some soup. Warm up. So I'm really just trying to even these tangs out a little bit and draw them out just a little bit more. Straight the tang out. This will be a nice little coal rosing knife. Kind of a, I've only seen a couple and they're made out of drill bits, so I've never seen one actually forged. So hopefully this will be good for that. I think we're going to call it good at that. Shut this forge off. Relax for a minute. Close down the chat. Close up my propane tank real quick. Oh man, yeah, she's frozen the ground pretty good. Whew. Yeah, can't even feel any heat from there. Crazy. Sizzle, sizzle. Yeah, I think we're just about done for the day. Oh man, I forgot. I was gonna do I got like a little harness for first person view. This can be unplugged. Oh, sit and hang out with you guys for a minute. Guess I don't need these anymore. All right, yeah, how's everyone doing today? Anyone got any questions or anything? Oh, sorry if that grosses anyone out, but that felt really good. Hello from Missouri. Hello from Missouri as well. Perfect. No. Let's see, did I kill this battery? I sure did. Wonder what my battery's looking like. 72%. I think it's doing pretty good. Can I see your workspace? That's pretty much it. That table there is where I do all my woodworking usually. This is where I do my forging. Forge over there, but my garage is it's gonna be a workspace, but it's not yet. Good evening from Sweden. Good evening from America. Well, good afternoon. I think it's about 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4:20. Whoa. I just got a text from one of my friends. He said, I like that little knife so far. I wonder if he's still watching because it ended up looking like one of the knives he really likes, the sharp finger, Trade sharp finger. Nice setup. I mean, kind of. It's just a little spot in my yard. I really need to get my workshop in order, which is, it's hard. A lot of my free time comes down to what I'll do is I'll usually just come out here and live stream and, taking care of house chores and running errands and stuff. How do you attach handles to your small carving knife? So essentially what I'll do is I usually just burn it in the tang of the knife, that little thin bit. I get it red hot and then I'll push it into a piece of wood that I drilled a hole in, and it'll make a really tight spot, but it'll burn in and it'll be perfect. If you do it with a green wood, which won't make for the prettiest best handles, but it'll shrink around it and make crack, but it'll shrink around it and make a really tight bond on it. A lot of them I've done, like I did a all on a live stream once, which is like a little pokey thing for like leather working and stuff. You use it to poke holes in leather, and essentially, I mean, I did one with that. I mean, it worked really well with that. I literally just cut down a piece of sumac that I have in my yard. Did that on live stream. I think it was live stream, yeah. But that's usually how I do it with those little thin rat tail tangs. I'd grab one and show you, but they're all pretty hot right now. But yeah, I burn them in. If I can pull them back out when I'm done with that, which usually I have to because I usually do that. I burn them in and pull it out before I like heat treat the knife before it gets like hardened and everything, because I don't want to ruin the heat treat of the knife itself. There's ways to do it. There's ways to do that where you can do that without damaging the knife. But usually what I'll do is when I put it back in, I'll put a little bit of two-part epoxy, usually Gorilla epoxy, and stick it in there, and then it hardens really well. Wow, that was really weird. I just got a text, I think, and I could feel the vibrations through the snow from my tripod. Sorry, getting rid of some notifications. But yeah, that's how I attach it. I'll probably do a video on that. I do want to do a video where I show, hey, Matt Talbert, just doing a little bit of relaxing after doing some forging. I do want to do like a full video where I go through the entire knife making process. I'm going to do full tang and hidden tang or partial tang. These ones are going to be hidden tang. They don't really need to be like super strong because like they're just for really tiny fine carving, mostly finishing work on spoons and stuff. So that'll pretty much be it's crazy because my knives that are sitting over there are still so hot that snowflakes land on it and it sizzles up like second it touches. Same with my forge. I need to get a better forge. I would like to get a double burner forge, or honestly, what I really want is I want to do I need to build another charcoal forge, which I need to do. And it's just hard. You get time out of there. Would you put finger grips in your small carving handles? I might do that. I'm not really big in like finger grips on handles. Like the most I'll do is this, which I guess could be kind of like finger grooves. So I'll do these kind of Coke bottle shaped handles, because where your hand wraps around, like this one's made for my hand. So where this cut in is and where this cut in is fit my finger perfectly, fit my fingers. So, oh, that's weird. I didn't know other like live streamers don't really do that. But that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I definitely try to keep up with the chat and welcome everyone who comes in. But yeah, so I like to put this style, this Coke bottle. This perfectly fits the palm of my hand, like that palm swell fits in there perfectly when my finger wraps around here and here. Shalom. But yeah, very comfortable. This is what I'll usually do. These ones I think are just going to be smaller flat knives, so I can kind of pack them. Because what I kind of want to do with these is I want them to be knives I take out in the woods. Just little. I want to make like a whole little carving set. Bunch of junk on this knife. But yeah, I really love this handle style. Because I mean, it kind of is a finger groove. Chill Sky, I've seen nerd out about knives. Yeah, there can be a lot of there's a lot of intense people on YouTube who have a lot of strong feelings about knives. I've had, man, I can't tell you how many people I've like run into, because I mean, this is a very heavy knife. So like, not only is it made from 3/16" steel, but the handles are desert ironwood, and then they've got brass liners, which I just kind of did just because it looked cool. But the balance point's sitting back there. A lot of people would say, oh, it has to be there. And I could have ground a little bit more off the back of this, but it doesn't really. Forge is getting cool, actually. We're pretty much at the end of the forging, Tony. But it really doesn't matter. I mean, like, the balance on blades, unless it's something really obnoxiously like the back is like a pound heavier than the front, you don't really notice it when you're using it. It's kind of like you can tell when someone's kind of like a try-hard knife person. They're like, oh, it's got to be perfectly balanced. It's like, it's got to be perfectly applicable to combat situations. Let me tell you, I've carried a lot of, looks well made. Thank you. It's one of my favorite knives I've made. I made it to be kind of like a Kephart style blade, kind of my take on the Kephart blade. That very bushcrafty. Like, you can see right here, I messed up on the bell. It drives me nuts. But there's a piece of leather. Well, I rolled my tip over at some point. Have a good afternoon, you too. But yeah, I always love when I hand people knives and they're like, well, there's no finger guard, so when you stab someone, your fingers are going to slide up on the blade. And I'm like, how many people are you stabbing? This is for woodworking. It's for woodworking. Most, everyday carry knives you're going to use for, like, let's be real, people. The Chef T-Bone needs a custom blade. Your future kind sir. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, like the whole thing with like people being like, oh, every knife has to be combat ready. It's like, to me, a knife is a tool. There are knives that are specifically weapons. You've got karambits, you've got certain type of like combat knives, but stiletto daggers and everything. But those are made to be weapons. My knives are made for to be tools. Only veggies and meat that I eat. Yeah, heck yeah. Chef T-Bone's a custom blade in the future. I might, Tony, we might get together and figure out what you kind of like for that. Because I've got some good steel for chef knives. We have good thinner stock. But man, I've got ice forming all over my stuff. Ice in my beard. Definitely feeling the cold now that forge is off. But yeah, it's like, it's really funny when people are like, oh, knives are a weapon. And it's like, okay, well, not really. Knives are tools. Except when they're made to be specifically a weapon. Do you do any collecting knives or anything? I mean, kind of. Yes and no. It's like, I buy knives to use. I have a lot of like outdoor and like I do a lot of, I get a lot of the bushcraft knives. Like I get it, especially from Condor Knives and Tools. I really like their stuff. Have I made a machete? I've made a couple little machetes. They're nothing special. I mean, machetes, usually you can just make them out of a lawnmower blade. You usually make them out of mild steel. They don't really need to be that tough. It's better that they're not too hard. That way they don't chip because you use them for pretty tough stuff. But honestly, what I suggest usually for machetes is just buy a cane machete. I really love them. I might make a couple because I've had a couple people ask that now. I might throw a couple up on the Etsy shop, but yeah. But yeah. Yeah, the whole knife versus tool thing and everything. It's like, yes, a knife can be used as a weapon, but most knives are not made to be weapons. Like people, like machetes. Machetes are a great example. Machetes are kind of a bad example because machetes are, traditionally they were made to be tools, but they get pushed into self-defense a lot in a lot of like South American countries. They're basically like the modern day equivalent of swords. They're like a socially acceptable sword nowadays. Um, but yeah, lost my whole train. Why am I ranting about that? Why am I talking about that? I don't know why I got into that. I don't think it was even a comment. I think I just went off, started yapping. I think we're gonna end the chat, or we're gonna end the live stream in about 10 minutes. Everyone, haven't made a TP fort outside. Oh, like a TP. I thought like, okay, so sorry, I saw the T and P, and that's like short abbreviation for toilet paper. I'm like, a toilet paper fort, which actually you could totally do in winter because toilet paper and water mixed, like wet toilet paper freezes and gets harder than concrete. That'd be kind of cool. But a waste of toilet paper. But so I'm probably not gonna do that. But I I had this one that was pre-made. It was just like four stands and everything, or four legs, and it spread out. It was made of cotton. It's really nice. Really loved it. But I don't have that anymore. I lent it to my sister so she could use it for her kids, and I think it got left in the yard and never got used, and then all the cotton rotted off. It made me really sad because I had it like all through my childhood. But yeah, I want to make like a TP. Cool show, thank you. Hey, welcome back, Chef DL Turner. You're that's the winner of the 500 subscriber giveaway. Very cool guy. Can you say happy birthday to my friend? Ah, nice try. I've been on the internet too long to fall for that, buddy. Nice try. I respect the attempt. My TP had a tree fall. Oh man, that stinks. But yeah, Chef DL Turner, what's the name of your Facebook page? Is it Carvers Are Us? Is that what it was? The name of? If you could post that in the chat, everyone go follow that on Facebook. That's really cool. You made like a page for sharing your carving projects and all that. I might make a teepee. I've had the idea to make one out of canvas, like like some good canvas tarps from like Harbor Freight or something. I kind of want to do that. Man, my phone is blowing up. Oh. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left in the chat, or in the live stream rather. And then I'm gonna have to go in and warm up. I'm gonna have a little bit of soup, I think. Oh, I'm gonna have some chili. Chili sounds better. Sounds really good. It's always good to have chili when you're chili yourself. Yeah, I'm glad everyone came out to join me. My butt's cold. We got a good couple of knives chilling in the vermiculite. Well, not really chilling, just staying pretty warm. Cool those down, kneel those. Hello, Timothy O'Keefe. You're at the very end. You missed me forging about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knives, mostly little carving guys. I sent you a link, but I assumed you were at work, so sorry about that. I'll probably be doing another one. Now, how about some hunter stew? It's a great day for that. Oh, man. If I had started it about 4 hours ago, man, I would love to go in and kill some hunter stew. Ah, man. Yeah, but I'm going to be doing another live stream later on this week, I think. Wednesday's not good for me. I think it'll probably be Thursday. It's a good day for deer meat. It sure is. Had some killer chicken fried or country fried deer steak the other day. They were really good. It's fun hanging out with you. I'll send you an email later. Appreciate it. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, your package. I have to go ship out your package. Actually, I have to leave here pretty much as soon as this live stream is done to catch the post office so I can send out your spoon. Hopefully, I mean, with the weather, it may be a little delayed. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long. Sorry, I'm communicating with my wife. If she was watching the live stream, I can hear my baby having a meltdown inside. You monster, deer steak. It's ethical. I mean, honestly, here in Missouri, there's no natural predators for oh, she can't see it or anything. She was inside just waving at me from the window. Do I like backstrap? Absolutely. Deer steak, but yeah, so there's no natural predators for deer here in Missouri except for the odd mountain lion and odd black bear. So if we don't, because I mean, it's kind of our fault for, getting rid of the predators, but if we don't, they'll overpopulate, wipe out forests, they'll wipe out agricultural land, and it's like it makes me sad because deer are really cool, but there's nothing to hunt them, so we have to. I mean, it's really. I'm sure there's a lot better people on YouTube that can explain it a little bit better than I can, but yeah, without their natural predators, it's pretty much up to us. We actually have that, and it's like the more dense the population is. I'm having backstrap for dinner. Heck yeah. And plus, I think morally the hunting is better too because it's like like going to a grocery store and picking up meat. You don't ever see that animal. You don't know that animal. Sorry to get I don't know, political's the right word, but sorry to go off on this tangent. But yeah, it's like, I think it's a little bit, I don't know, people have more reverence for the food and more respect for the food if they are the ones who harvested it themselves. I think there's something that's how we lived for a long time as hunter-gatherers and everything. But yeah. Not to poo-poo on you or call you out or anything. Into Hartoom. Interesting name. We hunt our deer. Good. There are too many deer in the area that catch diseases. Yeah, population density, like chronic wasting disease. And there's that other one, EHF. I can't remember what it stands for. Yeah. It's not for everyone for sure. Hey dude, how's it hanging? It's hanging. It's frozen like an icicle. And by I mean snot in my mustache. It's very cold today. I'm about to head back inside, and literally we're gonna give it about 30 more seconds to close out everything. But yeah, I can hear my son having a meltdown inside, and gonna go give my wife a hand. I've been out here for about almost 4 hours forging in this ice storm. It's over now, but yeah, I just wanted to give everyone thanks for hanging out. Subscribe so you can catch my future live streams. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be making an announcement. Going to have a Patreon. Going to have the Discord. Just got to get all this stuff figured out how to do it. Oh, okay. Interesting. You have a good evening with family. Everyone, I hope you all have a really great night. Hope you get out, and maybe not get out in the woods right now. It's a bit cold. I hope you do something you enjoy. Stay safe, and see you guys in the next live stream. Make sure to subscribe to catch on my future videos and live streams. Have a good night, everyone.